back. Throw that baby in there. And there's our first soap. It does a body good. Make sure to close that door. Now that was good typing. Alright, so now we just gotta finish the day as normal. Clip through the floor, climb the stairs, go to the comms room, do tasks in electrical, and make our way back. Oddly enough, the colors for that puzzle are randomized, but the solution is not. It's always the same pattern of wires, just the colors get swapped. Alright, so there's day 1. Now for day 2. As I said, there's...
And while we're waiting over for the Silent Hill Downpour Race 3 setup, I just wanted to remind everyone what we're raising money for. And currently, HorroribleGames is raising money for the Organization for Autism Research, an organization founded in 2001 which raises awareness through the funding of pilot studies on topics of more everyday relevance, such as education, parent, and teacher training. The Organization for Autism Research is a parent-led science-based organization that tries to spread awareness for autism and try to enhance the quality of life for individuals with autism. Instead of funding cause and cure, they fund directly to the individual's needs on everyday tasks such as education, parent and teacher training, and self-care. If you want to support the Organization for Autism Research, please press !donate, where you can donate from credit card or from PayPal.
I guess a little background lore for this game. These guys that are haunting me are the
and
bodies
also,
of my dead crew that have
we want to mention once again our sponsor, which is the Humble Bundle. They have a subscription-based service where for $12 a month, you can get 12 PC games a month that you'll own forever. If you subscribe to Humble Choice, you get a 20% discount at the Humble store, as well as access to a library of indie games, Humble Originals, and other classics through Trove, and the selection changes monthly. If any of that sounds pleasing to you guys, 12 games a month, please type !humble and use our partner link to help support the marathon and help us be able to help even more people in the future.
Alright, so third day, you saw I just jumped out this window over here. We're still going to jump or go outside, but in this case we're going to clip out over here because the last soap is right here. And now there's some invisible walls that we have to go around out here, so I'm going to avoid those by going under there and through here. The last treasure chest, by the way, is those little bubbles over there, right in the center of the screen. Alright, now we're climbing an invisible wall. We're going to use that to jump up to the roof, come back inbounds here, and land right on the end trigger. Now, as I said during the full collection run, the time will end here when the audio cuts out. So here in a couple seconds, time. And that is soap percent. Now, if any of you enjoyed either of these runs, please, please, please consider trying out some of these speedruns for yourself. They are very easy to get into, very easy to do. Currently, I'm one of 2 people on the leaderboard, so we're really needing some more runners for this. If you need any help, I am totally here for it, but thank you all for giving me a chance to show this run off. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Shmumbler. We will be moving on. Thank you so much for your run. We really did appreciate it. Runs, we really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm going to move the stream back to setup, and we will be going into our final run. So thank you so much, and we'll be right back. Horrible Games.
The very clever title says. Also, I have some cats going nuts in the background right now. They're just so hyped about this Corey run. They just can't contain themselves.
That is absolutely amazing. I can just see them.
He just decided to scale that chair in the background there.
1, go. So our very first fight, right out of the gate, fighting this green dude. There's a huge difference between console and emulator, which is worth mentioning. We're not really sure why there's a difference. The difference itself was literally discovered like a week ago by me. Basically, the jump dash attack can be infinitely changed on emulator, but on console it can't. Obviously, I guess that means that the original ROM dump for emulator was kind of bad or something. It's just interesting. The community of this game was completely unaware of that for so long. I don't know. It's fun. So yeah, that's the second opponent, Medusa, in the bank. The general best strategy in this game is to jump into the air and press A to do a dash attack down. Hit the enemy. The other good thing about being in the air is you can avoid the enemy quite well. This is probably the worst fight, in my opinion, especially on console, and it's because this character, Princess, can fly a little bit. She's good at getting up in the air and making it difficult to do jump attacks on her. So this is Fuzzy Lumpkins. We're drawing near the end of this game. I am not even joking. That was a pretty good fight, actually. Didn't start off the hottest, but it was alright. So here it's important not to just mash straight through, because you unlock a new character, but it switches you automatically to Blossom. And if you accidentally pick Blossom, you know, you lose some time. In a very short game. Uh-oh. Sometimes the opponent can stun lock you in a very weird way, and that's sort of what has happened to us here. This is not very good. We may lose this fight. Okay, we're good. I was a little nervous there for a second. Yeah, I know, right? Nervous. Fighting the Gangrene Gang. And now we're on the final match. When Mojo Jojo falls down and dies, that's the run. That's the run. Super short game. The world record for console for Buttercup 100% is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh no, that sucks. I don't like it when Mojo Jojo gets a gun. And that's the run. Time. Sorry I couldn't give a good warning, but it comes fast.
GG.
Wait. What was the approximate final time?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I started the timer like 30 seconds late.
You know what?
It says a minute It says a minute 45 here. That's not right.
So it's probably somewhere in the 2 to 2.5 minute range.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fairly high chance it's world record. Actually. Which is kind of funny.
Would you like me to... I can retime it during intermission, during like a backup.
Yeah, sure. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. Not like it'll take a long time to retime it, I guess.
Before we get into this next round, I just want to read out another donation that we had come in. We have a $10 donation from
Thanks to
Copter with no comment, but thank you so much for that donation.
with you guys. I'll definitely be submitting again in the future. It's been a lot of fun. I hope chat enjoyed. I hope everyone enjoyed. Again, I'm so sorry earlier about my power outage, but I'm glad we were able to get it sorted back in very quickly. And good luck to the rest of the runners. Keep donating, everybody.
Alright,
Thank you so much for being here.
yeah, I just want to say I'm really sorry for not saying anything. There was some noise in the background, so I didn't want to like unmute, and the first thing you hear is noise in the background. Again, Kafka, thanks a lot for being here, showing 2 amazing games.
Thank you.
It was really fun to watch, and hopefully we will have you here again.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Alright, we will hop into a short intermission and get ready to set up Joseph Schuster 316, who will be running win-back covert operations. So just stay tuned.
Not me now. I have to keep unplugging it and trying. I have a cutscene here though. I'll unplug it a bunch of times and hope it works. Like if you look at my input viewer, I'm not holding anything.
You don't care. Based on a true story, apparently, which has been interesting.
I just want to remind everyone real quick that the Silent Hill Downpour incentive, what will happen to Anne, is still open. The bid war is still open between sparing Anne or killing Anne. That is going to be open for the entire run. That incentive will be open until the very end of the run, where that decision will be made. So you have the next 3 hours to either spare or kill Anne. Currently, kill Anne is in the lead with $25, and spare Anne has $12.34. So if you want to spare Anne, you might want to get those donations in. But yeah, that'll be open for the next 3 hours. So get them in.
But that room up there, that's actually where you end the game. See that place up there? Bit of running first, but I can start by saying this game's a bit glitchy. You can see those trees are gonna glitch in and out. Over here they probably will. Yep, it's a bit weird. Just when we turn the corner, when looking into that wall, you can actually just deload some debris. And when crouching in the game, your camera goes forward a bit. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna deload this debris here. Crouch at this spot here. We're gonna clip through the wall. There we go, we clip through it. We're gonna jump into this locker, which is a bit weird, but based on where we got in it. Okay. And now we just skipped most of the first floor. So now, we have a bit of running we can hopefully do before the game reloads a bunch of objects. Like, this room's full of chairs. But not anymore. Since we get this hard, now it's all there. So now, what we have to do, we have to put organs in this thing, which is odd. I'm going to open this door over here. Doors take a while to open, so we're going to open this one here, and then go back over to here, and get another organ. This one's like... tube. It's a tube. Yeah. So a bit of stuff to do here. I already put it in. One more. It's only 3. And now, this is a cool puzzle. You may be wondering, well, what is putting organs in this anatomy model do? Well, the obvious, of course. It makes a dead body fall over. And a school bell to ring. Get a key here. Finicky, there we go. And that was basically the finish of the second floor. We're almost done with it. A bit of time to wait for this to end. Some guy following us, who's way too well dressed for the environment. But he was chasing out, now he's not. I'm gonna open this door to get a little speed boost, but also because we'll need it for later. So that loaded in a bit late. Get this beam, and we get that room that we just opened, we need to go into. Cool thing about this, if you go into it backwards, the game only turns you 90 degrees, so we go into it at a weird angle, makes it look funny, some cool stuff. Now, this cutscene here, it makes your glasses be dirty, and that's alright. Dirty glasses, you need to clean them. Wrong. As glasses do in real life, after a bit of time, it kind of just, yeah, it does that. There's a puzzle here that we solved very fast. Now there's a guy here. Fun thing about the enemies, they one-hit you. There's a faster method where you like run straight out there, but because marathons, I'm just gonna run around. Alright, bit of running to do here.
Now, there's actually there's a safe at the end of here, and there's a door you need to unlock with a code, but the game never changes the code, which is a bit interesting. So it's always the same. For this safe here, it is 375. So click that, 375. It's unlocked. You got a thing to break some chains, and that puts us up to the final level. Yep, takes a bit of time to open this. Open that. Now we're on to the last floor. Time ends when this little document comes up on screen, which will be in a second. Open this door if it wants to let me interact with it. There we go. There we go, 296. Open this door, and time ends. Oops. No, wrong button. There we go, time ends now. Now it's a little short game. It's a really fun one. So if you just want a cheap little horror experience, maybe a cool little speed game, it's fun. I recommend it. Alright, so that's the end of that. I don't know if there's anything you want to say, Kuno?
No. I think that is it for us.
All
for
right.
you. Thank you so much for your run. So we are going back to the setup page, and we will be right back. Is there anything else you would like to say, Quivers?
I guess shout out social media. If I'm entertaining, you know, I have a Twitch TV/QuivyBoy. I'll be in chat later for Kuno's run. Yeah, that's about all.
Alrighty, we're going back to the setup page for us to set up for my next run. So thank you guys so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though we're having a bit of difficulties getting the next run set up. Stick with us. We will get that to you very shortly.
No, dude! Oh my god. Where am I? What's happening? What is going on? This has never happened before. Where am I? Oh my god. That has never happened before. I have never seen that in my life.
Hello everybody, and welcome back for another run for Horrible Games Heartbreak. Right now we've got a run of Outlast, all whistleblower sections with Cream Sock. Cream, how you doing?
I'm okay. What about you?
Doing good, thank you.
Nice.
So, why don't you give us a little quick intro of the run before you get started?
Yeah, we'll do. So, all chapters is a category where we have to get a saving checkpoint in every single chapter of the game. With this run and Whistleblower at any percent, if you've ever seen one of those runs, this run is very, very similar to Whistleblower any percent, except it will, we don't get, in Whistleblower any percent, there's a save invocational block which we don't get, but in this run, we take a detour to get that save. So, the run starts on the first input, so in 3, 2, 1. So, this category obviously uses a lot of glitches. The one I just did there was a door hop. So, the game doesn't have a hitbox for when a door's opening. But, so we can abuse that by jumping out and then jumping back into the door as it's opening. So here, we're going to do what's called a boost up, where we load in a section of the level. It's okay. I put some save points earlier. We pause just to load in that wall, but this is like...
Alright, everyone. It is time for Silent Hill Downpour race between Shmumbler and UmbrellaJill with Oh My Queen on commentary. So, stay tuned with us. We're going to transition right now.
You wouldn't think I've got a good time on this category, would you? Okay, I'm going to miss it again.
Hello.
All right.
What?
All right. So.
Can we talk about the game, or I don't know?
let's go ahead and just count it down and we can go.
Yeah, okay. So, get on the right screen. You want to count it?
Sure. So we'll go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you. So yeah, welcome to Downpour. This is everybody's favorite Silent Hill game, right?
Right. Everybody that watches.
Yeah, so you heard us talk about this during the Silent Hill arcade run, but this is kind of a unique race. First off, I'm Shmumbler. This is UmbrellaJill.
Yeah.
Jill here is going to be doing an any percent run, and I'm actually going to be doing a surprise ending run. So it's going to be a really interesting race to see just what happens. Because basically I'm going to have to world record, and Jill's going to have to really screw up for me to actually win.
This is what you chose. This game likes to meme on you anyway, honestly. Anything can really happen in this game.
It's true.
If the beginning of it loads up wrong, this door that you have to open, you won't even be able to open it, and you'll have to restart right at the beginning, so... Luckily that didn't happen.
What's happened to you?
Yes? That doesn't happen to you?
No, I've never had that happen.
If he doesn't load properly into the elevator, this blue door doesn't open. And I'm like, well...
Yeah, I've never had that happen.
That happens to me a lot. Like, I would say 1 out of every 5 or 6 tries. It hasn't happened until I started playing on the Series X, so I feel like it's more of a Series X glitch.
Out of curiosity, do you actually have the digital version, or do you play with the disc?
I thought there wasn't a digital version. I have a disc.
There was, but it got delisted. I also have to use the disc.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious if it was like a weird Microsoft digital version glitch or something.
Oh, no, I have it on the disc.
Jesus,
oh yeah, the names on the stream are flip-flopped. It says my name on your side and your name on my side.
There's been a mistake. I'm a sequestered prisoner. You're not.
I'm Shmumbler.
That's okay. I'm just here to make Jill look good.
I'm Shmumbler. Alright, so the beginning of the game we have to kill this guy. It doesn't tell you why until later on in the game though, so it's actually kind of a pretty dark way to start the game.
Like that. Crouch and we'll just fall straight through that. So now we're just going to jump into the next point right here. And here comes the trick that no one has fun with. This is why most people stop this category. Because this trick is really difficult if you if you don't know what you're doing. But once you get it once, it's pretty easy. So basically, we're just going to get a small hitbox by vaulting out of this window. And then we're going to use the corner, if I get... Yeah, okay, I've got a small hitbox. And we're going to use the corner to boost ourselves up, just like that. I got that really quick. So now we're just going to jump. If I miss it, that's no worries. I've got a checkpoint up there just in case. So this jump is pretty hard, but it's really inconsistent as well, which is weird. Sometimes you'll get pushed. There we go. And then we're going to jump across collision. Oh, that was a mistake. So yeah, we're just going to... Oh, I didn't land on it. So there's 2 pieces of collision. On opposing sides, and we can jump from one to the other, which is pretty easy. There we go. So now we're just going to run off. There we go. And we're going to fall through here. So now we're going to go through this section pretty much normally. Except there's one trick that we're going to do over here. Which if I die, it will slow me down quite a lot. But it's okay, I'll just use glitchless strategies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are figuring out the technical difficulties and trying to get the streams back up online. Stick with us, and we will have that to you shortly.
Which we didn't, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to do a glitchless strategy here. So, yeah, I still need to grab the key. So, what can happen there is if you get hit, like I did there, Eddie will either run to the side, or he will run straight at you, and you can't go past him. And we got the part where he runs straight at you. So I'm just going to do this normally, how you would in any other run. So, yeah, so we're just going to make it back to this door. And it will, once we do make this back to the door, it's going to trigger a cutscene, in which case we got a bit of downtime. So, here we go. So, we're nearly there. But this round isn't very long. It's if you do it fast, you can get in under 8 minutes. My personal best is about 7 minutes and 43 seconds. So here's the cutscene. If there's anything you want to ask or say.
One more. I tried. You all prayed.
Okay, we seem to have fixed the difficulties, so let's get back to the Silent Hill Downpour race with UmbrellaJill and Shmumbler.
Naked dudes hanging from the ceiling. So that's not going to be enjoyable for anyone who's sensitive.
And we also have ourselves a special guest.
Special guest.
Me?
Yes.
Me special? I was supposed to be here. Hey everyone, sorry. I'm Oma Queen. I was missing before, but I'm back here now.
Yep, so Queen is the former world record holder before the Xbox Series X came out.
In chat, oh, okay, they fixed it. I was about to say, in chat, they're saying the audio. Okay, that's fine.
Alright, Murphy, it's all set. Make it quick.
Can I just say that Jill's background is fabulous?
Oh, thanks. I got my couch.
Very fitting.
Yeah, I got my couch in Silent Hill with some rain.
Yeah, I mean, you should have covered yourself a little bit better, you know.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Wore a rain jacket. Oh my god, what if I should have got one of those like bright yellow like ponchos with the hat.
I think you should have just cosplayed the postman, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing my...
Speaking of cosplay.
Yeah, I got the green button-up Murphy shirt on.
As do I.
Yeah, we're both cosplaying as Murphy.
Who doesn't love watching Murphy race Murphy to play Murphy?
It's like the cheapest cosplay. It's just like, oh, I literally already own this shirt, and like I've streamed it a couple times saying it's like Murphy cosplay, but like really I didn't even buy it for that. I just already had this shirt.
But I think they actually released with a collector edition or something a Murphy t-shirt. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you might be right. They've done that with a few of them, which is always hilarious to me because there is no cheaper cosplay than a Silent Hill protag costume. Because they're just regular clothes.
I mean, it's the same with the James jacket, right? They also made a limited edition of James jacket from Silent Hill 2, and, you know, whoever owns one of those nowadays, oof.
Yeah, when it's just a regular
millionaires.
65 bomber jacket.
Isn't the
Well, I guess we can kind of
the
go
Henry
into this guy a
outfit
little
is just...
more.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was supposed to say the Henry outfit's just a white button-up shirt too.
But this is Napier. He was our neighbor.
This is a violation of my rights. Who the hell do you
And
think
kind
you
of the whole wraparound story of this game is that our kid was kidnapped and molested by this guy, so we're taking revenge. But you don't find out about that until like 2 hours in.
Until the end of the game, pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty much.
wow. That was a big mistake.
There is a bit of RNG for this opening fight. The first one is just, where he runs after you beat him with the stick. There's 3 different places he can go. I had the worst one. I'm not sure what Jill got.
That's okay, because
The
I
other
ran in the
bit-
wrong direction on the last hit with the stick because I thought I had already done 6 hits, but I didn't, so.
Nice. Yeah,
Okay, look,
that's the other
Jill
bit.
is just giving you a few seconds of, ahead, Shmumbler.
Hey, I need every bit I can get. But the
Is
other
that
bit
nice?
of RNG is the number of hits that each phase takes. So with the stick, it always takes 6. But then each one after that can take anywhere from 4 to 6, with 5 being the most
Yeah,
common.
5 is usually.
So I had 5, I think, with the knife, and then I had 4 with my fists,
I
which
wasn't
is
paying
pretty
attention. Yeah. I just.
Either way, it only saves like a second or 2.
Yeah. I had a really good time getting out of the showers the other day. I was so pleased with myself. Because I look at the time when the screen goes black, and it's usually like in like the high 410, low 411 range, and it was like I got like a high 408. It was like such a good time. I was like, yes.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about your actual shower, and then I was like, oh no, right, we're speedrunning Downpour. So it's like, taken out of context, that phrase sounded very odd.
Yeah. Had a really quick shower. Okay, so now now Murphy's getting transferred to another prison, so that's like I guess he was having a dream, flashback dream or something.
So this is going to be like a little walking segment before we watch another, 8 minutes of cutscenes. But there's a fun little bug that you can do here. So Downpour has a look behind you button, which is the left bumper. And if you hold that down while you go into this walking segment, the camera will be stuck behind you. Which doesn't sound like that big a deal, but at the end of this walking segment, you have to step on the elevator. And the trigger to interact with the elevator is not stepping on the elevator, but pushing up on the control stick. So if you're having to hold down on the control stick to move into the elevator, that kind of creates a problem.
Well, you said just confuse me, but...
Basically, when I get to the elevator here, if
Yeah.
I press up, but I'm not far enough into the elevator, I'll just walk backwards.
Oh,
instead
I
of
see what you're
getting in.
saying. Yeah, like the old window ladder trick.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
This game desperately needs an interact button.
Yes. Imagine if they could have updated that into the game too.
Shout out to the best track in the game.
I don't mind
By
this
the
one,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean unironically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be very ironic about this game overall, but sometimes I'm gonna be honest.
Also, like one of 3 songs that you actually hear because of the terrible audio mixing.
Just Pluto Nan, just rub your body on the ladder like a normal person.
To be fair, the composer for this game was really good. It's just weird for Silent Hill game, I guess.
Yeah, I don't actually don't mind
Korn
it.
is in the credits. Everyone is waiting for Korn. Like everybody's here just for that.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of days at Wayside
Yeah,
Max.
but Daniel
I bet
Licht
you'll
is
start to miss this
really
place
good. He
after
did
all.
the score for the Dexter TV
We
series.
sure are gonna miss
Like, guy's got a huge resume.
Which, by the way, is fantastic. I mean, Dexter. So
Yeah.
you guys go watch it.
I love Dexter.
There's a new season coming out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Or something.
Did you guys say
Yeah.
Dexter? I love that show so much.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Dexter. Like, what the hell?
Well, except for the last season.
Yeah, the ending was kind of. I wonder if they're gonna like fix it with the new season. They're gonna kind of like
That's the reason they made the new season.
Yeah.
So they can actually have a good ending.
Yeah, I'm excited
Speaking
about
of
that.
which, didn't Daniel Licht pass away?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
So I wonder if they're just going to reuse his music or if they're finding a new composer.
Oh, good idea. I don't know. I wonder.
Maybe both.
Let's get this done.
Okay, I'd like to point out that this is the most important scene in the game, so let's just focus on this for a moment.
What we got here?
Pendleton. Get on the bus.
Everybody who knows Downpour knows that line.
Yeah.
Buckle up, get cozy.
And the crowd
Which
goes
is
wild.
Yeah, it's such a confusing scene. I still cannot really wrap my head about it. Like, you stopping him to give him a look that he cannot see because you're wearing freaking sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then you just tell him to get on the bus. Like, that's such
what I was doing.
That's
Leave
such
me
a
alone, lady.
bad move.
Shoutouts to that Screamer car commercial where the car is winding its way through the mountain pass that they directly ripped off for this scene.
Oh boy.
It's the exact same mountain road. Look at this.
I don't think I've seen that.
Well, you know, Silent Hill 1 takes stuff like posters from
yeah, a bunch of different
from the cop. I forget the title now, but you know, from movies and stuff like that. And Downpour takes roads from commercials. I don't see the problem over here.
And,
what are you complaining
Homecoming
about?
took an entire scene from a movie and just reskinned it.
Yeah, you see, all is fair in Silent Hill apparently.
You know, a good thing that I want to ask you guys is, since the majority of the audience here probably hasn't played Silent Hill Downpour, what exactly is the difference between the any % route and the surprise ending route?
So the only difference, literally, is that I do one side quest, which is called Digging Up the Past. So you'll see Jill will grab a double-headed axe. Instead, I will be grabbing a shovel, and I'll be digging up graves periodically throughout the run. And typically what's in those holes is some like mementos from prior Silent Hill games, kind of as a fun little Easter egg. But they only show up the first time you do that. So you'll actually see Murphy pick up nothing.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've only done it once, I think.
The most notable difference besides the side quest is also the fact that Jill is gonna be able to keep the double-headed axe for the whole game and skip a part of the game because of it, while Shmumbler will have to play through it. And it's a pretty spooky part, so I guess that's a plus of the surprise ending.
There is literally one skip in this game, and it depends on that axe. And it only saves like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I had to make a whole new Xbox account because the code that you put in is like tied to your Xbox account. No matter if you delete your cloud save file, you can delete all the save files and it still has that locker code tied to your account.
You can even remove like the Downpour information from your account where you like delete all the achievements and stuff, and it will still use that same code.
I had to make a new Xbox account to play Downpour.
Yeah. Which is not true on the PlayStation version, by the way. PlayStation version is just tied to your save.
This is crazy.
In case anyone is curious, the reason why we usually run the Xbox version is because the Xbox version is retrocompatible. It came out on the 360, but you can also play it on the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X, which makes loadings way faster. And when I say way faster, I mean way faster. On PlayStation 3, the game runs very, very bad. According to Shmumbler, it runs well on the emulator for PlayStation 3, but on the actual console,
To be
Not
fair,
really.
that's partly because I have it installed on a solid state drive, but yeah. So PlayStation 3 version is the only version that actually got a patch, but it doesn't really matter because the Xbox version still ran better anyway. Load times for 360 versus PS3 are mostly the same, but moving from 360 to Xbox One saves about a minute in load times, and then moving to the Series X saves another 2 minutes on top of that. The loads are still way longer than they have any right to be, considering that now it's like a 2008 game on a modern solid state.
Yeah, they were overly ambitious with this game.
You're gonna get yourself killed.
Yeah, it loads way too much. Like you've seen, we have not had a loading screen yet, and we're gonna go through like 3 different area transitions before we get one.
So in case anyone is worried for Anne, which I doubt, but like just making sure, she doesn't actually die here. And it's a bit of a shame that you don't see what happens to her in the game.
Yeah.
Because the major issue with Downpour is that when you come to the end of it, it feels like the game is very unfinished, and there's a lot of plot holes and a lot of things that are not explained properly, and so you're left with a lot of questions. But some of the questions can be answered if you check out the comic book that they released titled End Story. And it's actually a pretty good comic book, and it's basically what happens to Anne this whole time that we're going around the city and having a stroll, So yeah, she's fighting off her own demons right now and dealing with some stuff on her own. But I'll tell more about Anne's side of the story a little bit later, because we're gonna see some more things on Murphy's side.
So the fun part of that too is when you finish Downpour, you really come to this realization that Downpour is Anne's story the whole time anyway. So it's just baffling that they made the game played from Murphy's point of view and saved Anne's perspective for a comic that you can hardly even get anymore.
I think that somebody data mined it, and there are some models for Anne within the game that are supposed to be playable models. So it is the general consensus that Vatra was planning on adding at least a second version of the playthrough, or a DLC, or something along those lines, where you would play as Anne and find out more about her. But because of, money and time restrictions, they couldn't do any of that. So Downpour is not a good game. Let's throw it out there and let's make it obvious from the beginning. But it would have been way, way better if Vatra had the resources, the experience, and the time to do what they planned to do from the start.
Yeah, so here's always my favorite thing to throw out here. Vatra is a company that before Downpour had only made one game. And I had never heard of the series until I looked this up, but it is a classic Konami series. Russian Patriot. Vatra made a Russian Patriot spin-off game, and that's it. Then Konami decided to be like, hey, how about a mainline Silent Hill? But afterwards, we're gonna fire your whole team and shutter your doors.
What? I said she's a wicked old
For some reason, after the Anne cutscene, Murphy did not want to grab the rock on my screen. He's just standing in front of it.
I don't want any trouble. Just
And then I messed up the ladder bit. He was like stuck on the what do you call them? Those barrels.
Yeah.
Hot mess.
Honestly, it's not that uncommon, because you have to be on the right spot of the rock. Otherwise, he's not gonna climb it. Duh.
Yeah.
Murphy is special. Let's just put it that way.
And then ladders in this game are just a whole nother thing. You can't just press A to climb a ladder. You have to interact with it by rubbing your body up against it until the game thinks that you're trying to climb it. And sometimes the game just never thinks that you're trying to climb it.
You have to warm the ladder up first. You gotta rub it. Warm it up first.
up there in the window.
Yep. And then once you get to the top,
Oh yeah.
You just might end up climbing right back down.
Yep.
Because another issue with Downpour is any kind of transition where the game takes control away from you, it locks your directional input for the left stick. So if you're continuing to hold up thinking that you're going to move forward after that ladder, you might just end up going directly back.
This mail ain't gonna deliver itself. Good luck, Murphy. Hope you find whatever it is you're looking for.
There we go.
Hey,
I'm fixing to head into the diner now, and this is a really, actually surprisingly recent find, but turns out if you hold the left trigger, you enter the stance where you can throw the weapon if you press right trigger, but you actually walk a little bit faster when you're doing that. So that first bit of the diner, you're actually forced to walk. The run button just doesn't work. But if you hold left trigger and do that fast walk, you save a little bit of time.
Cass? Oh, shit.
This game is basically composed of very little actions that save you like 1 or 2 seconds at best. But it's all you can get, because to date we haven't really found any major glitch or anything like that that would allow us to skip a big portion of the game or anything crazy like that. Which, on one hand, it's what makes this game sort of special. On the other hand, as you can imagine, is extremely frustrating because it's a 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and 40 minutes run with unskippable cutscenes and a lot of running around. So, yeah, not for everyone, I'd say.
Downpour lives and dies by optimization. And it's a game that's very hard to optimize because of how much the mechanics want to get in your way.
And another reason why it's so hard to optimize Downpour is because you cannot save anywhere you want. So, you know, in many speedruns, you can do save states and the like and just practice a part of the game over and over again until you get better at it. But that's simply not possible with Downpour because it only has specific checkpoints and you cannot decide which one is kept and which one is not because you only have one save file for the entire game. So whenever you also need to start a new run, you need to start a new save file and so on.
And also if you're practicing from like a checkpoint, some of the timing of the enemies or like the spikes and things like that in the game load in like a different pattern than they do in like an actual run. So like you might be practicing something that works and then in an actual run it just doesn't work.
Yeah, there's a skip that Jill and I thought was working, and then it turned out that it was only working because we were loading from a save, and I just almost died there.
Oh boy.
Murphy really likes to slide down things, by the way.
Yeah. Also, shoutouts to Tomb Raider for stealing this mechanic from Downpour.
Obviously, like, Downpour is the precursor of all the video games that came out. You know, before or after Downpour, it doesn't matter.
What is this place?
I still remember my first exposure to the Tomb Raider reboots was watching Conan O'Brien play through it.
I gotta say that this room is quite peculiar, and you know, when you're a casual player and you get here the first time, at least for me, the first thing that I thought was, oh, this is gonna be like an insane puzzle. You know, it gives you the vibe of a puzzle room, and all you have to do is literally just turn a couple of paintings, and that's it. Like, you don't really have to do any effort. And, you know, it's kind of weird because this room is needed for literally nothing else, and it doesn't even make a lot of sense from a story point of view, the room itself, you know. It feels like a bunch of rooms just put together randomly, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a lot of space that they could have done something more story related or interesting with. Like, whose bedroom is it over here? I don't know.
And it is such a lot of space, but none of it is like you can't choose a way to go. There's only one way to go. It's still
Yeah.
very linear.
When it comes
Shout
to
out to Black
puzzles,
Ball.
we all know that, you know, like the other Silent Hill games are also famous for their puzzles and such. Downpour doesn't really have anything of that. There are a couple of side quests that are slightly more complex than just walking straight or in a given direction to finish the side quest, but they're still very simple puzzles. That being said, some of the side quests are actually worth doing because, in my opinion, they are pretty nice and sometimes better than the game itself. So, despite being very short. So, you know, if you ever happen to play Downpour, maybe a few side quests are worth checking into.
Yeah, the gramophone side quest in particular is my personal favorite.
That's probably the best one, yes.
Which, speaking of side quests, there is a 100% run for this game, and it's shockingly only about 50 minutes longer than the runs that we're doing right now.
You should have seen me trying to get all the achievements and doing all the side quests, and I had no idea, you know, how to do them, so it took me like 8 hours. That was my version of a 100% speedrun.
Some of the achievements are terrible in this game. Like, you have like kill 25 of this monster or kill 25 of the other monster, but it only counts them for one playthrough. And it's like, okay, I don't even think there's 25 weeping bats in the game.
Yeah, those were particularly frustrating. Or also the one with the medikits, that you have to use something like 10 medikits in one playthrough, and it's like you have to go so out of your way to get so many medikits. And I was just standing on the bridge getting hit by monsters just to keep on using the medikits. And if you use them too fast, they're not gonna count. So...
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Oop, got stuck on the doorway. Shoutouts to this cutscene that does count as a transition, like I said earlier. So if you're just holding to the right on the control stick, you actually just run forward directly into the monster.
I feel like it has to do with how early you start tapping the control stick too, because like I just did it like a little bit too early and he ran forward. Like you have to wait until the cutscene's like ending to start trying to like pre-turn him or whatever. I don't know.
It's definitely just a weird thing.
Like sometimes it works, but sometimes it's like, oh, I guess I started hitting it a little bit too early.
Also, like sometimes if you just hold up during the window transition, you'll still make it through the window without going back through, but then other times it doesn't. So it's one of those, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
And there's really no way of knowing
the hardest puzzle in the game.
Yeah. I don't know who decided that this was a good idea for a pinball machine, but they deserve to be fired.
I assume you have seen the hard version of this puzzle, right? Oh, it's
Yeah,
the one
where
Jill
it's
is playing,
just-
actually. No.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, did I pick hard mode? That doesn't make sense.
I think you did.
Did you pick hard mode?
No, I didn't. Did I?
How many holes do you have?
Yeah, she has way more holes. So she did pick hard mode.
How did that happen?
It's fine. It's fine. If you don't know where to find stuff, we probably remember.
Oh.
I know where the quarter is.
Yeah, you guys want to know something fun? That the hard mode puzzle in Downpour actually doesn't make the puzzles harder, it just moves stuff around. So like for the Hansel and Gretel puzzle, instead of having the lever on top, you're gonna have it down below on the seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, how did I do that? I don't remember.
This race is suddenly looking a lot better for me.
I didn't change anything. The game did it to me.
I told you, you're just giving extra time to Shmumbler. I know it. I know you're a good person, you know. You're just trying to give him a chance.
Hey, world's first hard mode speedrun.
So silly. I really. Oh no. I don't know how any of the healing or anything's gonna work. I'm gonna have to pick up extra healing items now. I don't know if I picked a hard action mode or not.
Even if you did, it's really not that bad because hard mode actually puts more medkits into the game.
Oh boy. If I pull up those statistics, will it tell me what mode I'm playing on?
I don't think so.
I
cool.
think it might, but I don't want you to waste time because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might.
But yeah, it just moves items around, so you'll just, like... I'm pretty sure... I know where the lighter is for the Centennial building. You'll just have to take a small detour before you get to Bobby Rick.
Yeah. No, I think the lighter's in the same spot as the diluent that's in a different spot. It's like on a table, like a...
Yeah, you like veer off to the right just before you go through Bobby Rick's door, and in that room it's on a table.
Oh no, what did I do?
If you're feeling confident in your puzzle solving skills too, if you solve the safe in the prison, there's an extra quarter in there that you can use instead of finding the one that the game wants you to use.
Where's the quarter in hard mode? It's not in the room with the water fills up?
No, I don't really remember where it is.
Uh-oh, I need to Google.
Oh, the puzzle for the waterfall, for the waterway or whatever, it's also different.
Yeah, you just have to move the box in the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shmumbler to the hardest part, getting to the hardest part of the game, which is getting off of this goddamn... I don't even know what that's called in English.
It's a tram, and Murphy has the hitbox of a dump truck. A literal dump truck because it is about twice as big as his actual visual model.
Like, that was one of the things that was driving me the most crazy when I started watching, when I started running this game, because getting out of that tram was so hard when you're not used to it and you don't know what you're doing.
And it's wild too, because once you get stuck on something, you have to like move the complete opposite direction to get unstuck. You can't just like wiggle your way out.
And the camera doesn't help you either. That's the problem.
But I'm not lying when I say that I've lost runs to that tram. Because sometimes when you get stuck, it will take like a minute to get unstuck.
Yeah. Bad sometimes.
My favorite is when you finally get unstuck and then you just get stuck on the other side.
Yes.
Coming right up, we have another new character, JP Sater. His story is quite dramatic, as with any Silent Hill character pretty much, but he basically, let's say, involuntarily killed a bunch of kids while he was driving the train inside the caves and the Devil's Pit. He was drunk on the job, and so there was an accident, and all the kids that he was transporting were killed in that accident.
It was a really nice place. I'm sorry.
They really have a thing for killing kids in this game.
In all of them, pretty much.
Name's JP, and that, sir, is the Devil's Pit. 490 meters straight down to the blackest soul of the earth. The deepest limestone sinkhole north of...
fascinating, but... Sorry.
Just for fun, remember that number?
Tried to kill me back there. You haven't seen anyone? I'm strange.
It's gonna come back up when we meet JP the next time.
First time
I can check it for you, Jill, if you want, by the way.
Okay, yeah. I don't know any of the hard mode puzzle solutions.
You can just ask, it's fine.
The only
pretty
thing,
much
the only thing I know is
the,
I know the number pad is 22345, and I know the lever is by the stage, but that's the only two I know.
Don't get too many visitors these days.
Right.
It must have been because I was sitting on And I must have like knocked something on the controllers. I don't know. The game did it to me on purpose.
Boy, I tell you.
It's probably because you were holding the right bumper. That's why the A button wasn't working.
How about you show me?
You need to know where the quarter for the air vent in the prison is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh my god, what an interesting race this just became. Oh boy.
Right. Yeah, that actually made it pretty even, I think.
Oh no.
Sounds like a fun place to bring the family.
I picked up an extra med kit already because I was like, oh god, I don't know if I picked hard action mode.
I don't think you did. I feel like
I
you would
just-
have noticed by now if you had.
I just realized that Hansel and Gretel one is gonna be not the one
puzzle
the
not
box,
the
picture
It
puzzle.
has-
puzzle box.
Oh, it's so
It has
bad.
twice as many squares.
It's really bad on hard mode. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's see. We'll see how we go.
Or actually, I guess it's 4 times as many squares because it's twice as many for each direction.
It's pretty bad. Each one square is like 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm. That'll be my key for catching up. So the surprise ending run is actually like 5 minutes longer than the any % run.
I've already made dumb mistakes too, so it's like, oh god, I have to hurry. Oh god.
I've gotten stuck on a couple things. You know, classic Downpour.
I'm still
Is
searching for
my
the quarter,
axe.
by the way.
I don't-
If cutscenes were skippable, I would just run fast to the prison. But I don't think I'm gonna get there before you do.
I can't find my axe. Uh-oh. I think I lost it. I didn't see it go down the waterfall, but I can't find it.
Sometimes it gets stuck on the rocks, and you cannot pick it up even if you find it.
Got stuck.
So, after you meet JP and do that dialogue bit, then open the gate. There's a toolbox in there that will give you a crowbar, and that'll prevent you from having slow swings the entire time.
I think I already
know this
dropped the
because
pickaxe
I have also
anyway. I
screwed
can't
up.
see anything. My screen is too dark. think for the hard mode, don't I have to do these on?
No, they're the same order. You just have to move the box under the drop-down gate.
Box. Maybe I am on easy mode. Oh wait, there is one. I just can't see it. Wow. I swear I've played this game before.
Alright, so I just got past my first siren that I had to kill, and went pretty okay. It went down in 2 hits, which is the best you can get, but my second swing missed for some reason.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to find out where the quarter is supposed to be, but nobody seems to care about the hard mode of this game.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, there is one in a locked safe in the central watchtower in the penitentiary. And that one in the workshop storage room, but I don't remember if in a hard mode the position of that quarter changes. I think it might still be there, but it's been a long time since I played hard mode.
I have the guidebook somewhere. Guidebook, right? I dropped my pickaxe. I don't. Up with.
Do we have time for one donation real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Saparot, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, that says, get on the bus, go down the slides, jump over the bridge. Thank you so much for that $10 donation.
I cannot kill this chick for nothing. Oh, I need another weapon now. Is there another weapon over here? Picked up a stick. There has to be something else, right? Oh my god, maybe I did pick hard action mode. This chick is not going down.
She's being way too resilient, I think.
Uh-oh.
Jill was like either hard or nothing. Shmumbler is having his second meeting with JP. Just like with Anne, you can basically decide whether you want to be a nice guy to him or a bad guy, but it doesn't really matter because he's gonna jump anyway. And honestly, when you pick the options where Murphy is, you know, the bad guy, he is a very bad guy. Like, he says some pretty mean stuff to people.
Wait, is there something to hit us with?
But we always pick the good responses, let's say, because they're way faster than the bad ones.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so the $quarter is still on that shelf. On
oh, okay, cool.
It's just the combination that changes.
I was gonna say, because
I went to check.
I have the guidebook. I just would have to like sit there and look. Hope I don't.
You went to check your hard mode run?
Shmumbler? No, I found a walkthrough that talked about both.
I want the pickaxe back.
Alright, so now I'm opening the gate. You can see on the left here there's this little red toolbox.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that
what
in
I was
your
talking about earlier.
PB run, because I think you broke the axe and had to pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is a hot
I
mess
like to
express
joke around
right
a lot.
now.
I like to joke around a lot in the Silent Hill community that there's no one better at finding new time losses than I am.
The biggest time loss I've found is holding down the run button and hitting OK to start the game.
Yeah, that's
boy.
gonna slow your game down a lot.
Yeah, so the last time I got Downpour into a marathon was for GDQ's speedruns from the crypt, and I found a soft lock.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
How did you soft lock?
Let's see, what did I do?
You know, enjoying the view.
I think I, like, went to open my inventory
you got the
right
long
after
speed
picking
boost.
up the note on the stage.
Seems like a dangerous place to be sightseeing.
And after I did that, my interact button stopped working, so I wasn't able to turn on anything on the stage, so I couldn't do the stage puzzle until I reloaded.
Something similar happened to me, not on that stage puzzle, but in the Hansel and Gretel puzzle inside the house, where I couldn't interact with anything anymore. But I never understood what caused it, because I don't think I did anything different from the usual. So it's a mystery.
That's happened to me before too, and I've actually had it happen a couple times and found out that if you leave the cabin and come back, it works. Basically what it is, and this doesn't happen on Series X, but it's a loading issue. So you went into the cabin before it finished loading.
Okay, it didn't fix for me because I remember trying to go out and even getting smacked by the lady screamer that it's in there, and it still wouldn't work. I remember I was so annoyed because I was even on a good pace, you know. And that's one of the horrible things with this game, because you can be on a very good pace and then something unexpected happens and that's over. That's it. You know, it's just like 2 hours overrun, 1 hour and a half, or however it is that you have to throw away. And like what happened to Jill, for example, when she threw the axe over the bridge and she couldn't find it anymore. That's also something that can happen. The axe can get stuck into the texture and you can see it, but you cannot pick it up, or it can fall down the bridge.
Yeah,
and
it
you know
looked like
normally
I
that
threw
would
it
be
from
a
the right
reset.
spot. Yeah, my subtitles turn themselves off too. There's like no subtitles. I didn't turn them off. Oh man.
Interesting.
I did something bad when I started this run. I don't know what I did.
Your copy's possessed. It
Yeah.
has its own
Something bad
will.
happened when I held down the run button on accident.
Your combination for the minecart is also going to be different.
Oh boy.
Should I look it up real quick?
Yes,
Wait.
please.
No, I've got it. It's so on easy you do EAC. On hard it's DEBA.
Okay.
I'm keeping the puzzle page open just in case we need anything.
Oh, here's my favorite buddy here. He pops down to say hello. You know, he's never doing too great a job of being safe, though. You really shouldn't stand up in a minecart, you know? Sometimes there's things that hang down and... yeah, whoops.
Fun fact, if you mash your button too fast there, you're gonna die.
I've died there before
Because-
the other day too.
Yeah.
That might be why.
Downpour likes to eat inputs. So any QTE pretty much that you do too fast, you are most likely gonna die. So don't be too
Homecoming does
good.
the same thing.
Just be good enough, you know? Just not too good.
Yeah, Homecoming does the same thing, where if you mash too quickly on a QuickTime event, you're probably either going to reset it or die.
Never let go of hope. One day you'll see it all come together. You'll look back and laugh at what's past and relax yourself.
I can't believe I did this. What have I done? Is this? Oh my god. I'm like, if this is hard action mode, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna pick up every healing item I can find. I don't know what difficulty I'm playing on anymore. Wondering how the elevator is gonna go.
Oh, well, I don't know, actually. Because on easy, you don't actually have to kill them. You just have to stagger them.
I think it's enough if you throw them on the floor.
DEBA didn't work.
Oh, let me check.
DEBA.
Devil's Spit, hard. Apparently it is DEBA.
ABDC.
DEBA.
Try ABDC.
Yep.
Okay, so you're on normal mode.
ABDC. God. Okay.
Okay. Now, at least now we know. Now we know what difficulty we're on.
Oh my god. Oh no.
So
Honestly,
I don't know
this
where
is
the diluent
entertaining.
is then. I've never played on normal.
Yay! Well, let me look at my guidebook. Let me go grab that. It might have that in there.
It seems like the code in the prison is the same.
It is.
No, wait. Yeah.
The same as 22334 or 223. Yeah.
22345.
22345.
So basically, you know, like the same code, just with an extra 2. Downpour puzzles, everyone! When you say it out loud, it honestly feels weird. Oh, Anna's back. Right. Yeah, you see, she's alive, and she's about to shoot Murphy. And in the game, you don't see absolutely any reason why she would, like, stop all of a sudden and decide not to shoot Murphy. That is also explained in the comics. Basically, in this moment, Anna is having a flashback where she's thinking about her dad, and her dad taught her. Her dad was a policeman, and taught her, you know, what's justice and stuff like that. And he also taught her how to shoot. But Anne was all excited at the idea that she could shoot bad people, you know, and be like, oh yeah, you know, I can stop the bad guys now and stuff like that. And her dad basically was explaining to her that you should never shoot another living being, especially to kill, because, you know, it's gonna leave a scar on your person. Emotionally speaking, it's gonna leave a scar, and it's never good to try and kill someone. So basically, she's having second thoughts right now because of what's going on in her head, but the game never explains that, so it feels very weird the first time that you see it.
That makes a lot more sense as to why Frank didn't do literally anything while Sewell was murdering both of them.
Yeah, also.
So, I'm crawling through a window right now. You see there's this map on the table in front of me. Fun fact, when you're doing a 100% run, you actually have to grab that map. Because if you don't, then the homeless guy that you have to talk to for one of the side quests just never spawns.
Okay. I remember when you were doing your 100% run, and you were asking everyone, the guy is not spawning, the homeless guy is not there, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and nobody could help you because that's such a weird thing, you know? Like, nobody ever thought that not picking up that map would cause this to happen.
Yeah, I finally figured it out like a week later, just on a hunch, after I realized that the hand-drawn map that he gives you is overlaid on an image of the full town map. So I was like, I wonder, and go figure that's what it was.
But I saw you.
Hands against the wall. I said, up against
You also
the
see
wall.
that I got my shovel. I did pick up the double-headed axe for a split second from the locker, just because you can't grab the nail gun that we need without grabbing the axe first. But there's my first hole that I've dug.
I think it's possible actually to grab the nail gun first, because I think it happened to me a few times while I was trying to grab the axe first.
It is possible, but it's very hard.
Yeah, it's. I always thought that it was a bit random, you know. It probably has to do with your positioning and such, but yeah.
Also, I accidentally dropped my shovel, so I have to grab a backup.
On your fucking knees.
Thankfully, I know where one is.
You heartless bastard. You don't deserve to live. You're not fit to
I think that's what annoyed me the most about a lot of side quests, where you have to have either the shovel or an axe or the hook and stuff like that, and if you don't know the position of where that stuff is scattered around the city, it's gonna take you ages to find one.
You know what the worst part about that is, too? So you know how easy it is to throw weapons off the map, right?
Yes.
Well, the location of weapons are perpetual, so if you pick one up and move it, it's going to be there no matter how many loads you go through. So if you throw all of a particular weapon off the map, then you're just screwed.
I can't believe I messed this up so bad. Oh boy.
It means that it's gonna be, you know, a longer marathon. Woo!
Yeah, so I guess the lever is on the shelf across from the desk in normal mode. I found that. And then There was something that was this. It's the same on easy and normal. I can't remember. So.
Diluent, I think.
Yeah, the diluent's the same. Yeah, that's the one. It's the same on easy and normal. Oh man, what a hot mess.
Shmumbler approaching the second hardest moment into the game.
Going through the
Passing
window.
through the window without going back.
Yeah, if you accidentally go back through the window there, which the game likes to make you do, you see I just about turned backwards there, and there's no reason for it to have done that there. But if you go back through that window, you're watching that cutscene 3 times instead of once, and it's like a 20-second time loss.
And notice that's also like one of the few windows in the game that actually sucks you in. You know, like Shmumbler was saying before, to get up ladders, you usually have to hug them real tight and hope at some point that they're gonna accept you as one of them and let you go up. But windows instead kind of suck you in, so it's very easy to just even like take one step back and that's it. You're crossing through again.
Howard's back.
Fun fact, if any of you misses Howard, you can find him again in Book of Memories.
Oh no! No! What's the locker code?
The locker is closed.
Oh wait, I'm gonna search for it.
It reset my locker code.
It's the Amazon code, right?
I don't remember. Is it the...
Wait, Downpour pre-order codes. Wait. Nail gun and double X 17 1678.
Good lord.
Oh my god. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What a hot mess.
Now let's hope the code was right. Okay, it is. Oh,
It
thank
was,
you.
yes.
Thank God.
How bad was it? Oh
Because, you know, I just opened the first thread that I found.
Yeah.
Like, let's hope that this is the code.
Oh, man.
Are you sure you're not playing on a new profile?
Oh, I'm not. I guess each difficulty, maybe you have to put it in each time or something.
No.
Oh,
Definitely
no?
not.
Uh-oh.
I think not, yeah.
Well then, I don't know what's going on. How would I be playing on a different profile? No, I'm playing on the right profile. That's weird. I look just cause.
Oh no, I got stuck on the trash can. There you are. That's what I was trying to prevent. There's a siren that spawns here almost exclusively on Series X, and I missed you with the shovel. Good lord.
It's kind of funny how you hear Shmumbler that it's like, oh my god, I stumbled upon a trash can, and Jill in the meantime is like fighting to get through the game.
It took 4 double axe swings to knock the guy in the gate down. So I must be playing on like normal or something.
Probably, yeah.
I think
See,
I
that-
was
that-
on a PP pace until that siren spawned in.
Oh, really?
And that siren not spawning was my only contribution to this run. Because back then, you weren't still running the game, Shmumbler, but Enigma was, and he would always get the siren to spawn on Xbox One
Really?
before the Series X came out. And then I found out that all you need to do is be fast enough, pretty much, because then the siren doesn't load in at all. But I'm guessing in the Series X, the loading times are so fast that it's impossible to do that.
It's not quite impossible, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, like it's very hard.
Yeah, I never even really noticed her too much until playing on the Series X. It's like a once in a while thing.
She's not, like, if you're lucky enough, she actually helps you because it gives you the little speed boost, but most of them, when you get too close, they're gonna scream at you, and that's a lot of time loss, so.
Well, and enemy aggro works differently on the Series X for some reason, so she always screams at you here.
Yeah.
boy, I cannot wait to run on a Series X.
Yep, just got a random extra Siren Spawn 2 and got screamed at, so that's great.
Oh, that happened to me the other day there.
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me.
So Shmumbler got to another twist in the story. Not really a twist, but you know, we are moving forward. Murphy, we know already that Murphy was in prison, and you know, he's having a conversation with Sewell, all a little bit suspicious. But here we also find out that thanks to the help of Anne's father, Murphy might get out very soon. Anne's father knows that Murphy is a good guy, and he wants to help him get out of prison. He knows he's not in prison because he did something extremely bad, and he trusts him. So this is a little bit of an insight of the kind of relationship that Murphy and Frank had.
What was it that
while in
Murphy
prison.
did to get into prison? It was like, what, a 10-hour car chase after
Yes.
stealing a police car?
Yes, and that's something that you find out by only by reading the files, which is also a little bit. It could be a bit confusing if you're playing the game casually, because you first read the file, and then you get, you know, all the information about Murphy and stuff like that, because the names and the files are redacted. So the first time that you read the file, you might be thinking this might be the file of a random person that went through a car chase for 10 hours. But it's not. So basically, Murphy tried to find the worst type of crime that he could commit without hurting anyone, just that he could end up in the right prison where the person that killed his son is kept. Master plan.
Yeah, you would think that they would have done like a little bit more checking, like they would have known there was some kind of background between the two prisons.
Well, I think in most situations it wouldn't really matter since Napier was sequestered anyway.
Oh, true.
Is that something that they do, by the way? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
not an
it is.
expert in prisons. Like, do they? No, I mean, do they do background checks to see if the prisoners have any relation?
Well, they would have all
between-
their files. One of the people that frequents my stream used to be a corrections officer, like a prison. And he said, yeah, they have like all the background information on the people. I had the extra screamer too.
Nice. That's something that I never really had happen until I started practicing again. And now it seems to be happening more regularly. I don't know. Series X is weird.
Who is doing
So like, when I was running through the streets of Silent Hill for the first time and the prisoner guy popped in through the fence door, yeah, that's exclusive to Series X. On Xbox One,
I got your paperwork.
most of the time, like 90% of the time, they'll just kind of chill out on that courtyard. You don't even have to hit them. You can just run right past.
Remember, this is a limited
Yeah,
time
yeah,
offer,
for sure.
I'll let you know.
Like every once in a while he would go in the gate, but yeah, pretty much.
What's up, Officer Coleridge? What was that about?
That's the trade-off. You get 2 minutes of free time save because of the loads, but you have to deal with way more aggressive enemy AI.
Sewell's bad news, Murph. He doesn't do anyone favors.
Which is kind of weird if you think about it. Like, why would a different console affect enemy behavior? You know.
Yeah, the only thing that we can really think of is that it's because the frame rate is way more stable on Series X. So we're thinking that potentially enemy behavior is tied to the number of frames that have passed.
Take care of.
Which would also be quite crazy. But you know,
yeah, but you know, it happens.
yeah.
Just look at the Fatal Frame port.
Oh, I actually don't know anything about the Fatal Frame port. I heard that there's some issues with
Yeah,
the port
so
itself. But
all the animations in the entire game were tied to frame rate.
You stole a police cruiser. and let 'em on a
so
10-hour
So
chase
people who were playing at like 144 FPS were like getting
we're getting shredded.
2.5 times speed.
I think you at least
There was another port that had the same issue recently, the Near Replicant port. The character movement were tied to the frame rate, or well, any movement in the game really was tied to frame rate. So the more frame rate you had, the faster you could run. Pretty entertaining, to be honest, but yeah, not ideal.
Yeah. Dark Souls has some stuff like that too, where weapon degradation is based on frame rate. So running at 60 actually doubles the speed at which your weapons degrade, and it also like halves your jump distance.
So basically, the take from all of this is the only true way to play video games is at 30 FPS, everyone. That's it. That's been established in this race.
And Plutonian raises a good point where some games tie things to frame rate that actually make higher frame rate better, like Resident Evil 2 remakes knife damage.
Yeah. And I couldn't run the game at higher than 60 FPS, so I was stuck running 60 FPS for RE2 remake, which made the fights a little bit harder, but even more entertaining, I think.
I remember too, Village. Village is another one where a lot of the speed tech is tied to frame rate, because when you run the game at 30 instead of 60, or vice versa, I don't remember which, because I don't personally run it, but it actually shrinks your hitbox. So you can change the frame rate to knock yourself out of bounds.
Nice. And here we are, stuck with Downpour, with absolutely nothing to show for it. 10
Downpour
FPS.
is locked at 30, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know, but like 10 FPS, 30 FPS, nothing changes. We're still, remaining in bounds, not killing anything faster. Not skipping cutscenes, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
A first aid kit.
That's the worst part too, because like Silent Hill 2, I think Silent Hill 3 maybe as well, there's like a debug menu you can bring up with a certain combination of inputs. There's nothing that we know like that for Downpour.
Which is I think it's kind of amusing because, like, we all know that Downpour is flawed and has a lot of issues and a lot of bugs, but nobody has been able to actively break the game. Like going out of bounds, which means that the game is pretty solid. Like under a certain aspect, the game is quite stable and perfect, But
it's poorly optimized. You just coded well. Coded well, just too much code.
Is the code for that door the same on normal? Do you remember?
Pretty sure it is. I don't think it changes on any difficulty.
Okay.
I think the number dials is the same too.
It is. The number dials are tied to, I think, the projection screen or something like that. So like I think the puzzle for that changes, but the solution doesn't. Also, you'll see on that siren I pulled out my nail gun because I don't have a double-headed axe to save for later. So I actually get to shoot her instead of playing RNG roulette on whether she's going to scream at me or not. That's something that you can only do on surprise ending. On the other hand, that means that I have to keep my nail gun out. Otherwise, when I pick up a lighter here in a minute, it will auto-equip, and you walk extremely slowly with a lighter out. Come on, himmy.
Oh,
yes!
you can push the B button to unequip.
B button.
Like it works for the flashlight, so it might work for the lighter. I know it works for the flashlight.
Oh, for the flashlight, yeah, it does. But like even just pulling it out makes it a little slow.
The way I see it, sort of a win-win situation, right?
I got hit a couple
Guys
extra
like me
times
here.
there, but
They've got
that's
no
all right.
business breathing the same air as you and me.
You want to
right?
get hit by those shadows at least
Now,
once because you don't get the
bleeding
combat
hearts
mode
out
speed
there
boost
insist we
otherwise.
sequester guys like him away from the general population for
Another
their safety.
thing to notice here with these enemies, the mannequins,
For their
they make absolutely no sense in Murphy's context. Like, Murphy would have no reason whatsoever to fight enemies like this, because if we learned something from the previous Silent Hill games, is that usually enemies that you encounter are tied to something that the protagonist did or something that he has been through and stuff like that. And this is another demonstration that Anne was supposed to be the protagonist, because actually the mannequins make sense in her story, in her side of the story. You know, while Shmumbler is going through this very long cutscene, basically what happened is that after Frank was murdered, Anne started looking into his death and trying to find out who basically made her dad, turned her dad first into a vegetable and then, you know, killed him indefinitely. She found out that the culprit was Murphy, and she wanted to be moved to the penitentiary where Murphy was, or have Murphy moved to the penitentiary where she was working. And so in order to do that, she basically sold her body to her chief of police, or whoever, the director of the prison, I don't remember exactly. But basically the person that was able to send an order to transfer Murphy to another prison. And in doing so, she also ruined her marriage forever, because of course, you know, voice got out that she was doing this. She also lost her husband because of this, but she was so hell-bent on getting revenge for her dad and for herself that she disregarded every other person that loved her or that she loved at some point. So the mannequins are represented in a very filthy way. They have a lot of makeup on, they have very red lipstick, and in the comic book, Anne also meet one of these mannequin that tries to grab her and hurt her, and it's dressed up as a bride. So all of this to say that these monsters make perfectly sense for Anne, they make no sense whatsoever for Murphy.
It's also cool how they attack with their shadows, because it's like Anne dressed herself up for these officers so that she could pull strings behind the scenes and work in the shadows to get her revenge from Murphy.
Yeah, you see in one of the comic book strips, you see her dressed up as a nurse, and, you know, getting dressed up after, you know, spending some time in bed with this other man. So, like, again, the comic book is very good. If you are interested in any way in Downpour and its story, I think it might be worth to pick it up. The physical copies are a little bit more scarce, but you can still find digital ones fairly easily.
Let's see. The physical copies also, if you do try to get them, you got to be careful because they're split into 3 volumes, but then there's also an omnibus. So I actually have the omnibus here. This is the full thing. Just be careful not to get just volume 1, thinking that it's the whole thing.
I think the omnibus is actually the easiest one to find, because I had no problems finding that when I bought the physical copy, and it wasn't even that expensive, to be honest. But maybe getting the 3 separate is actually harder, I think.
We got another dedication going out to my man with the plan.
I have some physical copies, Silent Hill comics, but I don't know which ones exactly I have. I don't have that one, but I have like the individual ones, but I don't know which ones I have.
Yeah, I have the Sinners Reward ones, I think.
Got a disc spinning right now, so you ain't interrupting nothing.
I know I don't have all
you
of
look
them,
like you just saw a ghost or something.
I have
Right?
most of them.
Good to hear.
I think that was the idea, Plutonan. Plutonan is asking if they were trying to make scenarios like in RE2. Yes, because there are hints that make us believe that there was supposed to be a version of the game where you would play as Anne. And to be quite honest, I don't think they would have had, even if they had more time and more resources, I don't think they would have been able to do the game from scratch. Just to have an Anne scenario. So it would have probably been something like Anne going through Silent Hill but in a different route. Or stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, they do meet up every once in a while. So
Yeah, they could have had like a little like a Born from a Wish type of a thing where it was like a little side scenario.
yeah, like a DLC as well. That would have
Even
also
if it
worked.
was just like showing where she went from falling off the cliff to meeting Murphy after the Devil's Pit.
You don't keep your voice down, you're gonna get us both.
Because that would have made way more sense. Like it would have tied the story a little bit better, you know, than how they left it within the game. And I do kind of have a problem with games that do this, where they're like, we're gonna put part of the story in the actual game, but then if you want to know all the things that you don't see in the game, you have to watch a movie, or you have to watch an animated series, or you have to buy a comic book, or you have to buy an art book. It's like, it happens more often nowadays than it used to in the past, and that annoys me a lot.
Well, it's kind of like with Parasite Eve, because it was kind of like a sequel to the book/movie, the first game. So if you want to find out the whole story of the game, you have to either like watch the movie or read the book or both.
I gotta say though, at least Parasite Eve kind of works well even on its own.
Yeah.
As a game, it doesn't have as many plot holes and issues as Downpour, for example, does.
Yeah, sure. Who's it going out to? But that's...
Hey, Jada.
Personally, I think if you're going to play or watch a video game type movie, you should watch Alone in the Dark.
Oh boy, I haven't seen that one in so long.
What's the matter? We gotta find those keys.
Hey, the first Silent Hill movie is kind of good.
It has some nice set pieces. I'll give
And
it
if
that.
anyone wants to fight me on that, I'm gonna fight.
So, I'm
Like
the
the
weird
first-
person who really prefers any kind of redoing of a piece of media to go ahead and just do its own thing. So the first Silent Hill movie to me is like really good. Aside from
Honestly,
the acting at the very start.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't
It's
like the
pretty
child.
bad.
I don't like the child actor.
Silent Hill.
I mean, the first Silent Hill movie, even if you don't like the way Shmumbler likes remakes and retelling of a story, it has some pretty cool moments. Like the ambience is pretty good, the music is pretty good. I think the main actress also does a pretty good job, in my opinion. And there are some pretty cool visuals, like without too many spoilers, when you see Pyramid Head or when he, you know, does what he does on top of the stairs to the church. Like there's some pretty cool stuff in the movie. So the first Silent Hill movie is not that bad, but I would stay away from the second.
Pluto! Pluto!
That's just my opinion.
Plutonan's just trolling. He said the second one's his favorite.
Can somebody get Plutonan out of the chat, please? It's not allowed to stay here.
I'm on it.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just say though, if you know what you're getting into, the second movie can be a fun time. I did not say it was a good time. I said it was a fun time.
Yeah, I do like the Leonard bits. Those are kind of fun.
Watching Pyramid Head versus Missionary is just
Oh, that
a
was
thrill.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the kind of B-movie stuff that one would enjoy, just, you know. A little bit like movies like Freddy vs. Jason, you know? Which, as far as movie goes, they're not great, but I remember watching it and I was so entertained the whole time, because it was just funny to look at.
I still need to watch Sadako versus Kayako.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I read the plot for that one. I didn't watch it, but I read the plot and I was like, okay, there were definitely some mushrooms involved in this, but you know.
Speaking of which, have you ever seen what the original story for Homecoming was going to be?
Actually, no. I saw the Origins one, like what Oranges was supposed to be initially,
Yeah,
but I don't
so
think.
originally Homecoming was going to be like trying to stop your brother, and it was going to be Josh versus Alessa.
I think somebody told me that, but I completely removed it from my brain. But it sounds like a good idea. I think that would have been entertaining to watch.
I hate this clock.
So Josh would have been like the bad guy?
Yeah. Like they were trying to go for a fear thing.
So, can anybody in chat come up with some kind of weird versus matchup between famous figures of horror? Like, I want a really good one.
I don't even know. What about, Did you guys ever see Basket Case? The monster in Basket Case? Would he fight?
Yep.
That would be a Basket Case guy versus Ginger Dead Man? What were you gonna say, Shmumbler?
I was gonna say instead of Ginger Dead Man, put him against the bloodsucker from Brain Dead.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think the best idea that I've heard ever, it was actually not my idea. It was from a YouTube channel, and Mike from Letter Media suggested that you would have Annabelle from the Conjuring movies.
Oh boy.
Against the doll from the Boy movies, and it would just be a movie where they stare at each other for the entire time, trying to fight each other off by just staring at each other. And I thought that was brilliant. And just switch cameras between the two dolls every once in a while with some, suspenseful music and stuff like that.
I would watch Ash fight off some gremlins. I love the gremlins.
Like my stop.
That raises a good point as to what a deadite gremlin would look like.
Yeah, I'm curious. I already have 4 first aid kits, but I feel like not picking up this one is bad luck.
I'd say you're probably right, because I just went through the swinging blades in the clock tower and I got hit twice.
Yeah, I always pick that one up because it's like the one time I was like trying to save time and I didn't pick it up. I just had like really bad results. So I was like, okay, it's bad luck not to pick that one up.
Yeah, it was like the one time that I actually managed to get the good RNG and all of the spitters only spit once.
Yeah.
So I managed to have an extra health kit and then I lost it because I got hit by the spinning blades.
Please despawn. One time she followed me all the way to the clock part. She was like literally hitting me. I'm trying to hit the clock button. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, it happened to me too. Like, she's weird. I don't know. And I'm guessing she's even...
She refuses to despawn
so close.
on the Series X.
What the heck?
This clock is the bane of my existence. I'm pretty sure that clock is the bane of everyone's
It's going really
existence that
fast
runs
right
with
now
me.
for some reason. Because, like, the spot that I would normally push it in is not working because it's going like fast there. Wait, did that work?
Maybe it's because you're on normal.
Oh, oh! I bet you're right. It probably spins faster on normal. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't think of that. I was like, how is this not working? I kept stopping like just after the platform when I was hitting it in the normal spot that I would hit it in. Alright.
So the fun bit about that clock too is it spins faster when you first get to it, and then it spins a little slower after you fail it once.
Yeah, so usually I'll try like to do 2 button hits, but if I get it on the first button hit, like by accident, I'm like, cool.
That's another one of those things that I would have really liked to practice, not gonna lie, because even for me, the times that I would get it on first try were very rare.
Yeah.
But you just can't, like, because even if you let yourself die or something, you have to go the entire way again. It's just horrible.
Yeah. The way I try to do it that mostly works for me is if it's the first spin, I'll try to stop it when it hits the 10. Otherwise, I'll stop it when it hits the 9.
Why did I do that? That's fine.
Well,
It's
you're
okay,
really
Jill.
not all that far behind me, so you might actually catch up to me when I have to go get the axe. Like, I just now dug the first hole leading up to the monastery.
Hey, that worked.
Yeah, I got it pretty quick that time since I adjusted and hit the button a little bit earlier. Now that I know it's like spinning faster. Yeah, I don't know why. I started going for it and then I got cold feet and I tried to go back, but I was too slow. I got hit by the swords. That's fine.
I think, by the way, if there's any donation or plug that you wanna go on with, I think there's some time now. I mean, there's a lot of time in this game, so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there's no new donations that have come in since the last one I read. But what I can do is kind of remind people what we're raising money for. At the moment, for this event, we are going to be raising money for the Organization for Autism Research. That's an organization founded in 2001 and it raises awareness through the funding of pilot studies on topics of more everyday relevance such as education, parent, and teacher training. This Organization for Autism Research is a parent-led, science-based organization that tries to spread awareness for autism and try to enhance the quality of life for individuals with autism. And instead of funding cause and cure, they fund directly to the individuals in need for their everyday tasks such as education and parent-teacher training, and as well as self-care. If you'd like to support the Organization for Autism Research, you can press !donate in chat, and it'll lead you to our Tiltify page where you can donate. And speaking of donations, we still have that bid war open for this run. About an hour and a half until we get close to estimate. And so, would you kill or spare Anne? The decision is in the hands of the chat and those who want to donate.
Help me! Murphy, run!
And since we're talking about, you know, an incentive for the ending, pretty much, the ending in this game depends not only from the choice that you pick at the very end, but also from the choices that you get through the rest of the game. But at least when it comes to Shmumbler Run, in his case, the ending is given by the side quest that he's doing, and he already spoke about it a little bit. But there's a total of I think 5 endings in Downpour.
Yeah, I think 6, right? There's that extra ending where if Anne kills you, it's a different ending.
Oh yeah.
It's still 5.
It's still 5?
Doing the
if you're not careful.
You got 2 good endings, the Anne ending and a bad ending.
And the surprise ending.
And the surprise.
There's no UFO ending in this game, sadly.
The old orphanage up there on the hill. No.
Yeah, so if you do
This can't be right. Got your name
the
on it,
bad
doesn't it?
choices during the game, but you spare Anne, you still get the bad end.
Oh, okay, I get it.
No, I'm done. I'm finished with the riddles, the mind games.
Ananas is just upset because I always spare Anne in my runs.
I want out.
Oh, I was when I first started running the game, but I've become bitter.
I mean, at some point I decided that I would not kill her when I had a PB, and then I got world record. So you know, like,
Yeah.
that didn't last long. And then Shmumbler swooped in. I cannot speak anymore, but you know, swooped sounds nice.
It is nice, yeah.
Also, I think only chat noticed, but I had to reload a save because I looked at my screen and realized that I wasn't carrying my shovel anymore.
Oh boy.
So somewhere between the first hole and the second hole, I managed to drop it.
I told you that one time when I was crossing the balance beam at the church, and then I went into the balance beam holding the two-handed axe, and then when I came out of the balance beam, I didn't have it anymore magically. It's like, okay.
That never happened to me, actually.
It's only
That's
happened to me
interesting.
once. I was panicking. I
But
panicked
I'm now
too
doing
much.
the part that Jill doesn't have to do.
Yeah, so I have a chance. Go, Murphy,
You know
go
what
faster.
the worst thing is watching this race for me anyway. I know that you are so close to each other, but I also know that there's cutscenes in between you, which is
Yeah.
like I know that physically speaking, within gameplay distance, you're very close, but the cutscenes are like endless. So it's very hard to catch up in this game once you fall behind.
Yeah, Pluto Man was watching me play it, and he was like, Jill, where's your axe? And I was like, what do you mean? And I looked and it was just gone. I was like, what?
I received
I
this
started
letter
looking
today,
all over. I couldn't find it.
but I think there's been a mistake.
You should hire Plutonon as the official axe checker.
Yeah, he's
to
my...
make sure that you have it at all times.
Yeah, he's my coach. Hey, Ice!
Your presence is very welcome.
Yeah, so the reason that you have to go out of your way to get an axe here instead of just bringing one with you is because that door specifically is scripted to break your axe,
We've checked the records
no matter what your durability
and I
is.
assure you,
The one reason we can get away with that is because the DLC pre-order bonus code axe doesn't have a durability limit.
Yeah.
So when it tries to break it, it fails.
I thought it actually had one, but it was like very, very big. But I guess it just infinite axe.
Maybe it can break eventually, but never managed to do it.
he died peacefully and is finally
Let's
at rest.
just, test it out. Let's spend half an hour just chopping monsters down.
He didn't leave much behind.
See if eventually
His
it
few
breaks.
personal effects are yours to claim.
What happened here? Was there an earthquake?
I'll meet you in the morgue in the East Wing, when you're ready. In the meantime, please feel free to look around. We're pleased that the good Lord has allowed us to carry out
Notice
his work
that
here at
Shmumbler is
St.
currently talking to a very creepy
I'm
kid.
sure you'll find your visit
And this scene is important because the kid basically tells Murphy that he's not gonna let him in or speak to him because he thinks that he's the boogeyman. And he's like, if you're not the boogeyman, you have to prove it to me. And to prove it to me, you have to tell me a rhyme. So now, basically, we're gonna go on a very heroic quest of finding a rhyme book where we can find the rhyme to tell the kid so he can let us through. But things are not exactly gonna go as planned. And we'll see that later on in another weirdest cutscene ever.
Yeah, I have issues with that scene, by the way, so you'll hear about that.
I think
That
everyone
said-
has issues with
yeah.
that scene, to be
That
honest.
said, this is like one of the very small glimpses that you get that the story writing was actually pretty good and they just weren't able to put it in properly.
Hey there.
Because, like, this kid is basically just a mini Murphy. So you have little Murphy calling Big Murphy the boogeyman.
Oh.
And it's
It's just
pretty
you.
What's your name?
big scene, metaphorically speaking, when you have this little kid being Murphy, you got the little girl being Anne, you have the little girl running off to the wheelchair monster that you later learn is Frank. It's a really in-depth cutscene that just falls flat because nothing else in the game is done well.
My little boy.
And because nothing is explained. Like Shmumbler just mentioned the little girl, for example, and we're gonna see her very soon, right? But for the entirety of the game, nothing is ever given to you to understand who she is.
No.
Nothing at all. And you know, when I was reading the comic book and I got to the part where basically they show you that the little girl is Anne, I was like, oh, okay, now things are starting to make a little bit of sense. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. The plot holes that this game has.
Why is she crying? Who is she?
I don't know.
Here's everybody's favorite balancing beam.
Yeah.
Always sad.
Yeah. Yep. There we go.
What kind of things?
And I almost died on it.
I've done that before. Sometimes you just get like sucked to the side. Really hard to oversteer them.
The balancing sections can get really finicky sometimes, just out of nowhere.
Because I've seen him. And I have a feeling
I have it set on my soundboard, so every once in a while when I feel like it, I just spam it, you know. And you can hear even the door closing at the end of the sound clip.
Do you know the rhyme?
So I do want to point out here that this is a book that we're about to collect, and also some papers that we're about to collect, and Murphy missed the rope even though I was standing right by it. Cool.
But if there's a rhyme that can do that, I sure
We are collecting physical pieces of paper that have this rhyme on it. Just keep that in mind.
You are the boogeyman.
Kid, look at me. I'm not a monster.
I'm not a monster.
Not yet.
I don't know if I can even turn the subtitles on. Take time away to go.
Gonna spam the drop weapon button here so that the book doesn't pop up. That saves like less than half a second, but hey, everything is something.
Don't you still miss don't you miss the same time by having to pick up the weapon again?
No, because you have to wait for the door to open a set amount before you can go through it.
Ah, alright, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the door starts opening as soon as it recognizes that the book isn't up.
What the hell?
Duh.
Shit!
Oh no. Oh no. Reloading the game seems to have gotten rid of my nail gun.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
You
That
could
could be a
just
problem.
jab her with the pokey stick.
That looks like a rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant more for the boss fight.
Oh, I think I might be able to hit him enough with the hook. I think I can still hit him.
I mean, you should be able to, but I think you cannot one-cycle him that way. Like, it's gonna be a longer fight, I guess.
Might be Murphy, buddy. It might be a longer fight
we'll
for me
find out.
anyway, because it's on normal. I don't know if he takes more to knock him down. Murphy, what are you doing? Please, please,
You're being too good.
Murphy.
I told you. You're mashing too fast.
What is he doing? What is this game?
Almost got it.
Oh my god. Yep, I was probably pushing it too fast. It's fine. I yell at him. I'm like, Murphy, buddy, buddy, we talked about this. Come on.
That's still being nice. You should have heard me when I was speedrunning this game, yelling at Murphy. This man was the bane of my existence for a month.
I'm really curious if I'm even going to be able to reach him with the weapon, since he's like just out of your walkable area.
Oh, by the way, the puzzle that Shmumbler just did, it's actually one of the cool parts of the game, in my opinion anyway. The puzzle itself is not too hard, but basically you enter this theater room where kids would usually, I'm guessing, host some theater shows and stuff, and you have to basically recreate the sound effects and the backgrounds that you would have during a normal play. And once you do it correctly, the stage becomes an actual area where you can get on and walk in and go to Hansel's and Gretel's house, because that's the play you're trying to recreate. And like aesthetically speaking, this is a very, very cool section. It's a bit of a shame because it's very small. You don't get to explore or anything like that. You just literally go into the forest, find the house, and solve this other puzzle that Shmumbler is doing.
What's wrong? Which one of these is wrong?
The one below the castle? No.
Oh, this one.
Murphy, buddy.
I swear the ribbon coming down from the castle looked like the corner of her dress, so I didn't recognize that was the wrong one.
Yeah, especially on hard, that puzzle is like, it's not actually harder. It's just it just has way more squares, so it's like you get confused with the pieces very easily. The first time that I got there, I thought that the puzzle was gonna be one of those, where you have to move the cubes around.
Oh, the sliding puzzle.
Yeah, like a sliding puzzle kind of thing. And I was already like, oh my god, these are like my biggest weakness, And then I was like, oh, you just have to turn them. And there's no, trick tied to it. You just can turn them one by one easily. Just have to reconstruct the picture and that's it.
Yep, but if you focus on one piece at a time, you have to wait like 3 seconds between every turn. So the best way is to actually move from piece to piece, doing one turn per tile at a time, and then going back to the ones that aren't finished still.
A girl can hope, Plutonen, When it's the first time going into a game, one can hope that the puzzles are gonna be hard, if you're into that sort of thing.
Also, bye Charlie. This is a sequence where I'm supposed to be chasing Charlie, but it actually takes the exact same amount of time no matter if you move or not, so see ya.
See, for example, Jill's screen right now, she's doing the same puzzle, but look at how many squares she has compared to Shmumbler. It's the same exact picture, and the puzzle works the same exact way, but she has more squares to turn.
Yeah, I made a fatal error when I started the game. That's fine, it wasn't too bad.
Hang on a second.
Oh, man.
I didn't keep the axe. Is there an axe in this room? I think there is. It's actually over here.
No, I mean, she did great, but it's just...
it's a lot more. It's
more
even worse
pointless.
on hard, yeah. But yeah, if I had been trying to focus on each individual.
I could never quite figure out why there's a tornado in this building. What is it supposed to symbolize? I don't know. Some of the optics in this game and some of the things that happen are pretty nonsensical, in my opinion.
Just a bit.
Because we're used to other Silent Hill games where everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's symbolic or something that actually helps you progress with the game or stuff like that. It always has a reason. And in Downpour, so much stuff happens because, there's absolutely no reason.
So here's my favorite part of the run.
You guys don't have tornadoes in your living room? Not typically.
Alright, well, I got the good kill.
Nice.
And I got the second encounter.
Uh-oh. I'm wondering how that's gonna go on normal mode. I mean, not that I, like, am very good at it on easy mode either, to be honest.
But I got a good kill on the 2.
So, in case you guys are curious to know what's happening right here, basically this puzzle would require you to take the stretcher and bring it below an X-ray machine to find out which of the monsters has a key in their stomach. And then you can examine the monster and try to pick up the key like Shmumbler is doing right now. The issue is that that's extremely slow, and it's way faster to just wing it and try to find the right monster. But if you interact with the wrong stretcher, you're gonna get an encounter with the monster. And unfortunately, the first encounter is pretty much guaranteed. I don't think it ever happened that you get the key at the first attempt. It's like the game is basically forbidding you to do that. So it can be only on the second attempt or third. So let's say that Shmumbler was unlucky because he got it on the third, but at the same time he got the fast kill on both monsters, so it was not that bad of a time loss.
She took so many axe swings on normal to knock her down. This is gonna be a hot mess. She took so many swings to hit
The annoying part for that
up door.
is that on any percent, there's a manipulation you can do to always get the key on the second one. But the timing is different on Surprise Any, if there even is a timing, so it just doesn't work the same for some reason.
This is the scene where finally the rhyme book gets into play. Come on, Murphy. This is your moment. This is your moment to shine. Read that freaking rhyme off the book.
Yeah, remember, we picked up the papers. The rhyme is literally in our pocket. We could pull it out at any
he just
time.
refuses to start reading it until the kid's about to die.
Murphy, you can save the kid. What are you doing, Murphy? Oh my god, this man.
Wait a minute.
I mean, also,
Whoa.
there's no glass there, and he could easily just reach through and unlock it himself.
After I knocked the first one down, I came back up and there's 3 gurneys here again.
What?
Yeah, there's 3 gurneys here. Like, if you'll stop
Maybe
looking
it's
at this paper.
Maybe it's a normal thing.
Yeah, like the first one respawned. See? Look, she's there again. What?
What's the rest of the rhyme?
Cat is trying to bring good luck.
Through the door now.
Well, at least you got the key.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there she is.
You mind if I plug in incentive real quick? The incentive again.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everyone that we're currently at $35 for killing Anne, and we are at $12.34 for sparing Anne. So if you want Anne to be spared, please donate some more money to the organization, the Autism Research. And also, speaking of that incentive, I do want to ask, like, what exactly leads the character to? You mentioned it, and I missed, and I didn't hear it. But what exactly leads the main character to that decision of sparing or killing Anne?
Oh, it's just the end of the game. At the very end of the game, you're just given a QTE prompt to spare or kill.
Because at the very end you end up fighting, I say fighting, but it's a pretty one-sided fight. You get to fight Anne because Anne tries to kill you, and we will see why. But basically, once you, let's say, defeat her, you get the prompt to decide whether to kill her or spare her, which changes also the ending you get.
Yeah.
And the little girl on screen right now, that's Anne.
and we're gonna chase her with an axe. Because we are a safe adult, and we are going to show her that there is nothing to be scared of.
Because you're the boogeyman.
So, you know, Jill brings up a good point, because so far, nowhere in the game you really understand why is everyone running away from you, or everyone scared of you, or everyone treating you like this. But in the comic book, you find out in the very first few pages. Because do you remember when Anne was hanging off a cliff and, you know, fell to her possible death, which
Yeah.
we know that's gonna happen? But basically, in that scene, at some point, Anne kind of recoils when Murphy tries to help her up, if you pick the option to help her up. And the
Yeah.
reason is because she sees him as the boogeyman. In that scene, Anne sees Murphy as the boogeyman that we're seeing right now on Jill's screen. So
yeah, you see like the gas mask and everything.
yeah, this is never explained properly in the game. Like, you do understand eventually that Murphy is supposed to be the boogeyman because of what happens, especially towards the end. But these first interactions are kind of, you know, kind of a hit and miss with the audience, because they're not very well explained within the game. But in the comic, it suddenly everything becomes clearer from the get-go.
Where's my son? Where's Charlie?
Also, you just watched me rub up against a pole there. That's because, for some reason, that messes with your collision and tricks the game into thinking that you got out of the water, even though you're still in it, so you get your full running speed back. I'm also going to do a thing here where I'm going to purposefully get hit by one of these wall spitters, because when you're in combat or being chased, you actually move faster when you're more injured.
him? He never did anything to you.
Wasn't me.
Which is really funny, because when you're not in combat, you actually move slower.
Wait!
This is also going to be the only time we push one of those enemies over, because it slows him down just enough to where I can open this door without being slow.
Oh, that's nice. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, otherwise pushing those things over is completely pointless because it just rubber bands.
Stop running. It's not safe. Damn it, I'm not gonna hurt you.
That was just too late. If I keep going, I'm gonna get stabbed. If you get lucky and the cycles line up, you can actually skip that first, like waiting for that first spike.
What the hell?
I remember I was actually terrified of these spike section when I started running the game. But it's actually very hard to die on them. Like, you have to be very reckless to die on one of these.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I've never done that before.
Hey. If you guys are adventurous, that's not my fault.
You know, the only thing you need to be persuaded to be reckless is that dream of a new PB.
I guess that's a fair point, yeah.
This little combat sequence where I'm avoiding the shockwaves here, he always does the same number of swings.
I wonder
so
how much damage
as long as you
these
know what to
guys
expect,
do
it's
on normal.
pretty straightforward.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Cue the Benny Hill music.
So next hit.
Hope I don't die.
I went ahead and healed there since I'm no longer in combat, but I will pick up this health kit because there's going to be a wall spitter on the stairwell. And waiting for those spitters is so slow. So it's better to just go ahead and take the hit just so that you can keep moving.
You won't find yourself.
Oh, and I didn't get hit.
Face the truth.
Oh my god! That's so rare. What?
That's like the third time that I've managed to avoid that.
Conflagulations. Holy crap. That's lucky.
And by third time, I mean I've done about 230 runs of this game now.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky. I think I've only done it once. Oh, why did I heal before this fight?
To be fair, you were quite injured. I don't know how much damage the boogeyman would do to you on normal.
Oh, he does a lot. Yeah.
I think I still have like 4 more tickets, dang it.
I love Murphy screams.
Oh boy.
Oh damn, you died. Oh no.
Apparently he does a lot of damage on normal.
That doesn't surprise me. He does a lot of damage on easy.
Oh no.
If you get hit by one of those hammer swings on easy, like, you get 2 of the bloody patches on you.
Hey, at least you're full HP now.
That's true.
It was just a strat.
Yeah.
Like, just refill HP and waste 1 less medikit.
Oh, shoutouts to this bell puzzle. So you know how puzzles in most game, they just check for the correct sequence, and then once you input the correct sequence, it counts as solved? Yeah, not here. Here, it only checks for the correct sequence every 5th ring. So, if you messed up once, you have to continue messing up until you finish those 5 rings, otherwise you're just constantly on a cycle of wrong inputs.
See, this situation allows me also to clarify, however, that since the Downpour is timed with RTA, you can die and just reload in your run if you want to, and that would still be considered valid. However, obviously the highest times in the leaderboard don't have any deaths.
I can't believe I died. I didn't think it was going to be that serious.
To be fair, you're playing on a harder difficulty. I think it's very hard to adjust when you're not used to it, you know. So you're doing great.
Hey, we still got free world record here.
Free world record for
normal.
Yeah.
Here's another really long cutscene.
Yeah, in this very long cutscene, which is a perfect time for coffee break or whatever, anyway. This is the first time where you try, like, not try, but like, where you have a chance to finally understand that the boogeyman is supposed to be Murphy. Because the game kind of throws hints at you, even before with the kid and whatnot, but it's not very clear because of how it's done. And here in this cutscene, you get the chance to at least suspect that Murphy is the boogeyman. But even then, it's not explained very clearly. Like, it's very hard to tell whether it's just the nun seeing you as the boogeyman, or thinking that you're the boogeyman, or forcing you to be the boogeyman, or if you actually are the boogeyman.
Yeah,
and other
it's not
people
until
see you the
cutscene
same
that
way.
it just straight up shows you. Sick burn by that nun.
But see, even this dialogue is so weird. I don't know. I like when I stop thinking about it, because usually when you're speedrunning this game, at least for me, during cutscenes, I just kind of blank out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't really pay attention every time that I run through the game.
These are the points where you kind of recharge from having to deal with Downpour the whole time.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love this run, by the way. I know everyone hates unskippable cutscenes, and I hate them too, but they are a lifesaver. You know, when you need to just disconnect for a moment or do whatever you need to do, it's great.
Yeah. Hurry, we got 5 minutes to dissociate.
The nun
To leave
cutscenes are
our
my least favorite.
earthly
to be
bodies
fair.
and just go to the astral plane of existence. You know, Plutonen, if you told me any cutscene from Silent Hill 2, despite the fact that we skip any single cutscene in Silent Hill 2, I would be able to tell them to you. Downpour, not so much, I gotta be honest. And like, you're forced to watch them, right? So one would assume that I would know Downpour cutscenes by heart at this point, but I really don't. They just don't stick.
Yeah, I have the first ones memorized, and then the later ones, it's like start to zone out more and more.
Even so, I will still argue that this game probably has the most memorable sound bits of all the Silent Hills. Especially
What do you mean by
just,
sound bits?
like single lines that you just know.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Like,
you mean like
not
the S word on the balancing beam? Yeah, I know that one.
Why are you doing this to me?
I think I've heard that once or twice.
For coming to shepherd your son home.
This must be the ticket machine.
Looks like
Oh, yeah.
my stop. My favorite is when JP says, "What can we do?"
And
What can we
I already
do?
told you, there's been a mistake. I buried my son years ago.
It's just the one-liners, though. You see, like it's just the
Welcome,
very
sir,
short
to the
ones.
Devil's Pit.
Yeah, I love JP.
Shall we?
490 meters straight down to the deepest black pits of the earth.
Okay, everyone, go check if that's correct, because I'm not sure.
I'm sure it's not
Pluto-
verbatim, but it's close.
Plutonan probably has it memorized word for word.
Now, if you'll just sign for your son's body, you can take
Alright,
him
well,
home.
let's see how this goes. Since I don't have my nail gun.
Oh, I'll watch it while this cutscene's going.
Yes, well.
I don't know how it's gonna go with mine either, because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough nails to knock him down.
I don't even think I can hit him with the axe. Yeah, I can't hit him with the
Have
axe.
you wandered so far off the path?
Oh
not
wow,
even
I just threw that
realizing
right
who
over
you
him.
are?
What the hell are you talking about?
So often the answers
Well,
are before
to be fair, he was still crouching. He was still down in the water.
Yeah, maybe you have to hit him from the back. I don't know.
Why are you doing this to me?
There were those who dwelt in darkness.
Do you do more damage by throwing stuff at him than hitting him normally?
Yeah, slightly.
Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad then. I'll remember that for when I run out of nails.
Hey, that didn't go too bad.
Yeah, that
all
wasn't
things
too bad
considered.
actually.
It was still 3 hits.
You don't know what it was like to know it was my fault he was gone. Every time I shut my eyes, I saw Charlie's face and all
And
of
he's
his
far
friends.
enough out though that I wouldn't have even been able to hit him with the pokey thing.
Why are you doing this to me? What do you want?
Hate this cutscene.
What I did to Napier.
Can I just say that I honestly think Vatra didn't know how kids look like, because the kids in this game are
Straight up just adult faces.
just
Yeah.
uncanny valley kind of kids, like, you know.
I just want my life back.
I guess they don't have kids in check, you know.
Revenge
They
is
don't
a
exist.
long, treacherous road.
They also just straight up have the
Where do you suppose it ends?
most solid heads of hair I've ever seen.
You know, there's people out there that have to use a lot of hair products and, you know, gel and
You only
whatnot
need to claim him as your own.
to keep their hair straight and in position.
Not if you're a kid in Silent Hill. It's natural.
See, Ananas is confirming. Ananas is from Czech Republic, so there's also tornadoes indoors, not just no kids.
We get
Everybody's born 18 already, you know?
Yeah. We get tornadoes here, but now I'm like, I feel like I'm like talking about it. It makes me like I'm jinxing it. We're gonna get.
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not talk about tornadoes. Oh god.
I mean, seeing how this downpour run, you know, how it started and how it's going, we don't want to jinx it too much.
This is wild. I can't believe I picked the wrong difficulty.
So I also, when I got hit by the boogeyman in that fight, I got damaged enough to be slow running. So
Oh, man.
very thankful right now that I didn't get hit by the wall spitter, because that means that I actually had a health kit.
Oh,
You
right.
typically don't have one by that point.
Right.
Hold on, I'm coming. Charlie! Charlie!
Had enough nails.
Nice.
What Jill just did is actually a little trick that Shmumbler didn't manage to pull off because of, you know, the setup that he had with the melee weapons and stuff. I think it's a little bit harder in that case, but when you get
I just
hit
screwed
by
up the timing.
yeah, but it was also like in a weird position, the weapons, like they were pretty far away from him. But you can skip the animation of getting knocked back by the shockwave that the boogeyman does by picking up an item while he's doing that animation. And if you get the timing right, you will still get the damage, but you won't get knocked away from him, which means you save 1 or 2 seconds on ending the boss fight.
Also, here's another fun bit about the Series X. So, I might have a siren waiting for me when I get down this ladder.
Yay.
Which it doesn't look like I do, thank goodness. But that's
This is
something
another-
that just never happens on prior consoles, but it does here.
This is another one of those ladders, by the way, that can give you grief and make you go up and down
Mm.
if you're not careful.
I accidentally went up the prison ladder again the other day. I thought I made a wide enough turn around it, but I was like on the very corner of it or something, and it like pulled me in, and he started. I was like, yay!
Yeah, that happened a couple of times to me too. And from that point, you know, I'm always taking it as large as possible,
Yeah.
even if it's not ideal.
Never again. I'm going all the way against the wall now. From now on.
I keep holding my hand over my split button like I need to split when I dig this hole.
I feel like my game is capturing darker.
Do you have an Elgato?
Yes. I recently
Yeah,
got
so
it.
sometimes when well, not when, just sometimes by random, my Elgato will reset the color settings. So you have to change it back to a full spectrum color mode.
Okay. Maybe I can.
It does that to me with Homecoming sometimes, and when that happens, and I go up into the attic to do that clip, I just, you can't see at all. It's pitch black.
I mean, Homecoming is very dark by default, to be
Yes.
fair.
Yeah.
Like, insanely so. Not as bad as Origins, though. I think Origins is the worst.
Yes.
I hate Origins. Screw Origins. Don't play Origins. Nobody plays Origins.
I never finished it because I only played it on the PS2 and trying to feel my way around without getting, because I had my flashlight turned off because those giant like bull looking monsters were hitting me, so I turned my
Yeah.
flashlight off so I wouldn't get hit by them, but then I couldn't see where I was going. I just got
Yeah, I can completely understand you because I sort of had the same issue where it's like, whether you're playing on PSP or PS2, it doesn't really matter. It's dark. Like, You cannot get away from the darkness, and the only way to see even something vaguely is with the flashlight on, but the flashlight makes the monsters way more aggressive. And I remember whenever I play that casually, it's always like a conundrum, because you either get destroyed by the monsters all the time, or you either don't even see where you're going. So... And I have a lot of problems with Origins, but I'm not gonna start a rant about that, because otherwise we're never gonna talk about Downpour ever again. Downpour is better than Origins, that's all I'm gonna say. Book of Memories is better than Origins. That's it.
I want to try Book of Memories. I've never actually played it.
I still owe specifically Queen a playthrough of it.
Yeah.
Do it.
And you better stream it when I'm available. If you stream it now that I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, good. You mean I get to put it off longer? Oh, heartbroken.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
God. I remember when I first started playing Book of Memories and I realized, wow, this is Diablo but boring.
So you did play it already?
Yeah, I've played it before. I never finished it.
Well, I mean, finish it is an euphemism, because like you can finish the main story up until zone 20, I think, or something like that, but then you can go all the way to 500 zones.
Yeah.
And then that's where the game actually ends. But I think it took me something like 20 hours just to go through the first 20 zones, so... And that was because I was kind of rushing as well.
Right now there is one speedrun for Book of Memories, and it's Punchy, and it's like 12 hours. But it's the world record because only Punchy was willing to put himself through that.
Honestly, if I could find a way to make the DLC work, because Enigma made it, and the DLC has the Princess Heart weapons from Silent Hill 3, and those things are busted. Like, they allow you to go through the game very easily, but I played the game vanilla without DLC, and honestly, it's very hard with just the standard weapons that you find around. So I think I would be more willing to submit myself to the game again if I had a way to make the DLC work. Plus, with the DLC, you can play as James, so hey.
When we reach the opposite shore, I'll go
I guess
one
I could do that.
You can go the other. It's that easy.
We've got unfinished business, you and I.
I have no idea what the hell.
Also, shoutouts to Anne, who magically appears out of
I
nowhere.
don't care anymore. There is no way in hell I'm going back.
You know what I just thought about? The part where you gotta knock down those 3 guys and then open that door. I'm gonna have to kill them all the way, probably. That's gonna take me forever. I feel like that's gonna take forever. That one guy took 4 swings with the double-sided axe. What are they? How many swings are they gonna take with the freaking crowbar?
Yeah. It'll never let us go.
It should be the same.
Finish what we started. What you started.
You know what was the funniest moment in Book of Memories for me? It was that one time that I aggroed a Pyramid Head and I don't remember what other monster in a room. And Pyramid Head and this other monster actually spawn other smaller monsters. And in my case, it was dogs, like the ones from Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And I died.
How's it going?
And I went all the way back to the room. So the game, when you die, it doesn't actually stop spawning them. You keep them aggroed. And they keep spawning dogs. And the room was so full, my game was running at 5 FPS.
Oh.
And I could not, like... I had to restart the whole zone because I could not figure out how to get past it or fix it somehow, because every time that I would die I would go back to the room and it would be even more dogs. I still have a clip of that. It was insane.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, shit. That would ruin everything.
I actually managed to make it through the cell door this time.
What you're good at, of course. Ridding the world of monsters.
Because the first thing that happens when you load into the prison is you get blocked by an invisible wall.
Cupcake. Just take out the garbage like you did before and we'll be square.
A little bit like on the
There's gonna be a little
tram at the beginning.
Tonight.
Yeah.
The other guards and me are gonna have our hands full, so no one's gonna know.
Yeah, except unlike the tram, the invisible wall blocks off the whole entire doorway.
And then?
It's not like it is invisible, but sometimes I'm sure it happened to you as well. Sometimes you can actually see that it's the door of the cell.
Yeah, it's the
like,
gate.
the
Just
texture
the hitbox
pops
doesn't
up.
move with the visual.
No idea
Yeah,
how bad he
yeah.
deserves it. Hell, I only wish I could do it myself.
So I think we got a few donations in the meantime.
You gonna play
if
ball?
you want to read a few.
Well, let me see real quick.
Take care of it.
We do have one donation from Zombizzle that says the donation. No comment. Thank you so much for your donation, Zombizzle.
Oh. So I tried to do a thing that I found there where you can swing through the trigger where you get staggered there. It doesn't save hardly any time at all because you're still practically stopping in space, but you move forward just a little bit instead of taking a step backwards. But I missed it. You can also swing through that one, which I swung too late.
Welcome home.
The fun part about that is the trigger to be staggered stays where it is. So you just get staggered on the way back, and it looks really funny.
Also, combat stands walk faster through water.
Yep.
Big
Love it.
strats.
Yeah. Big brain stuff.
Actually saves like 4 seconds on the second.
Yeah, because the little river of water is so long to walk through.
The game
And
felt
you
bad
move like
for me.
50% faster that way.
I didn't get the invisible wall because the game felt bad, I think.
I might be able to cross over on this.
Alright, time to see if we get the extra enemy spawn too.
Oh boy.
Another Series X exclusive. Sometimes after this guy
Series
busts
X
through, there's just another random prison enemy there. So I got lucky and it didn't come.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, maybe it's just that prisoner from down the other side of the hallway, and you were like, no, I killed him before, and it's not him. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So on 100%, you actually have to go down the hallway that the first prisoner comes from, so it's easier and quicker to just go ahead and kill him. So I've killed the guy before and then got there and a prisoner still spawned, so it's definitely not him. It's just the game decides to spawn one there for whatever reason.
Garlips, are you insinuating that Downpour is not 100% original?
Whoa, hey, whoa, hey, whoa.
Because that's kind of a hot take, you know.
Hello?
Listen, in some water. You could say it's a water prison. Alright, now, here is a hugely dangerous thing to do that I do anyway.
Yeah, I'm not doing that on normal. I'm probably gonna die if I get hit by that thing.
Alright, that should be it. There we go.
Oh,
so
no,
I got
you-
hit the first time.
Sorry,
I saved it.
yeah. I had a little bit of delay, and I saw only later that you went back. That's another one of those, you know, black holes that suck you in.
Oh,
if you're
yes,
not
it
careful
is.
with the
Yeah.
movement.
I got very lucky there too because it's very common for that knockback to just completely lock you into place until you die.
It's unlocked.
So thankfully it managed to knock me backwards a little bit and I was able to escape. You can turn that electricity off, but you lose about 4 seconds for that animation. So, you know, definitely risk versus reward.
You can save 4 seconds or get stun locked and die, you know, whatever. I'm not doing that today. I will die. I'll probably get hit by it once and die or something.
Best code in existence right here. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Extra
and then I
secure.
accidentally hit 6 because
And
the keypad allows you to put in 1 extra digit.
To be fair, Okay, the code is easy, right? But there is a puzzle that you have to do to get the actual code. And the puzzle wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the fact that the environment you find yourself in is loud as hell. Because in order to do the puzzle, you have to activate some machinery, some printers, to do I don't know what they're called in English actually.
A license plate?
The plates, yeah, license plates. Thank you. License plates for cars, and you have to find the numbers by using the UV light, which we have never seen in the speedrun, I think. But you also have a UV light in this game.
Yeah.
And
you only need it for 100%.
And the problem is that the machines are so loud. It's honestly aggravating how loud they are. And like I personally get a headache whenever I have to do that. If I have to do that, I just take away the headset or whatever. Because it's very much
Is
annoying.
the code 1-2? Is it 1-2 or 2-2s on normal?
It should be 2-2s according to the wiki.
Or it might be 1-2, who knows?
I don't know. I was about to look it up in my book and then the button already changed up. I should have been looking it up when I was on the boat.
Yeah, it's 2-2s. Yeah, so how do you make it more difficult than 2, 3, 4, 5? 2, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, it's an extra number to remember.
Alright, and then 30 seconds from the time I swipe that is when the gate's going to be fully open. In the meantime, I'm just going to run around, hopefully not get hit. Hey, Shanky boy. Oh, you got me. You got me good. You got me right up against the table.
This bit actually can be quite annoying because sometimes they can hit you while you're sliding through the gates. And I don't know why, but when they do that, you basically start sliding the other way around. So you do the whole animation like you would be sliding through the gate and getting past it, but you actually are sent backwards into the dining room, and so you have to do it again and hope that nobody hits you the second time around. It's so frustrating when that happens.
You ready for another Series X difference?
Hit me.
So you probably just saw the eyeball of a prison juggernaut. That guy's there all the time, but only on the Series X will he always aggro and try to knock you down. And if you aren't hugging that wall, he will hit you.
Man, I'm gonna have to basically relearn the game if I ever get a Series X.
Yeah, it's like anytime there's enemies involved, there's something different.
Because one of the biggest things for me was trying to figure out how enemies would behave, so I would be able to react more easily.
That is the nice thing, though, because even though they're more aggressive, they're also more predictable. Like, what usually happens like 99% of the time, instead of it just being a crapshoot like that first screamer.
Prison burger.
Yeah, who's ordering all these Big Macs for the
Those
inmates?
burgers are huge! What's a guy gotta do to get a prison burger around here?
Would you say those burgers were better or worse than the burger in Resident Evil 2 Remake?
They both look good. I feel like the prison burger looks good if you're sober, and the Resident Evil 2 burger looks good if you're drunk. Because it's like extra greasy looking.
That's weird. There wasn't a wall spitter.
Can I get through? Oh, it's coming soon. Gonna die, aren't I?
Alright, I should be able to make it past this first one.
Yeah.
I know you're having a very hard time, Jill, but it is quite entertaining, to be honest.
I'm sort of tempted to... Isn't there like an extra first aid?
Yeah, there should be on the left, I think? Or...
Can't see anything.
Where are you at?
No, maybe not. I don't know even if it changes anything in normal.
No.
Oh well, I tried. I was just I was like, I could have sworn there was a first aid kit somewhere, but I can't see anything because it's so dark.
Oh, it's like right at the top of the stairs.
Oh, I must have walked past it then.
Yeah, it's in a little cubby on the wall.
That's fine. I thought I was gonna die in the cafeteria. It's like, oh god, I think this door is about to open, right?
Well, I'm on the elevator now, which is one of the more frustrating parts of the run.
Easy peasy.
So, technically the game wants you to kill all the enemies before it continues on. But turns out the game thinks that you killed them if you just stagger them, so as long as you get one good shot, you're
How's
good.
it going, Murph?
Problem is, sometimes you don't get one good shot.
You weren't thinking of
And it is absolutely not recommended to use auto-aim, because, like, right now, Shmumbler is aiming manually at the monsters, which helps. But if you use auto-aim, Murphy just pretty much shoots randomly, and...
Yeah.
Yeah,
he really
like,
does.
exactly what just happened. Sorry, that was funny.
Terrible.
No, I know,
Worst
but
it's
like,
ever been.
it just it always amuses me to see Murphy kind of like nonchalantly turning the rifle behind him, you know, and just shooting with one
Yeah,
hand
just
like that. Yeah, it's fine.
With no regard
I
for
only
what
have
he's shooting
4
at.
bullets left, so I don't even have enough bullets to finish this last wave. Unless I manage to stagger 2 with 1.
Which is possible.
Uh-oh, bad things.
We believe.
Got it.
Shmumbler.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's how all 3 waves should have been like. But
Oh no 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 no.
Oof. Oof.
He was so speed boosted because he was so close to death that I thought I could outrun that last choppy thing, but
what are you barking at? Are you barking at the game?
Is your dog barking? Because my cat is meowing.
He's just sitting back here like.
That's how. Is he dreaming? I feel like dogs do that when they're dreaming.
Oh no, he's staring right at me.
Oh.
He's annoyed that you're not paying attention to him.
Oh boy.
How's it going, Murph?
Here's a fun bit. So here's another falling bridge, and the fun fact about the falling bridges is they make you drop everything in your inventory. So if I had anything, health kits, ammos, weapons, they're gone.
And they do the same at the previous falling bridge as well.
Yeah, that's why we have to throw the axe over it.
Oh man, what a bummer. I can't. I've died twice now.
It's alright, don't worry. Everyone logs more Downpour.
Yeah.
As long as they don't have to play it. So, like, you know, I know that your situation is not the best right now, but we are having a blast over here. Don't worry.
Wow, that's the worst I've ever gotten stuck on that. Fun fact, you can continue running during several cutscenes in this game, and all of these are some of them. Except there, that's bad. So if you don't walk through this cutscene perfectly well, you actually don't have enough time to catch that first enemy. The hardest cutscene movement, though, is after we press the button on this box that just dropped down, because you have to move blindly through between those two cages. And half the time I just get stuck on the button and don't move at all.
You know, personally, I find the hardest part where you can walk through a cutscene, the one where you have to go up the ladder of the
at the beginning,
pit
yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Because, like, it happens to me so often that I miss the ladder completely and I don't actually go up.
Yeah.
Lately I keep getting stuck on the barrels, like he's turning too sharply or something. Like turned straight into facing the barrels instead of the ladder.
The other one that happens a lot is on the third tower in the Frank fight. I'll just get stuck on the pipe instead of running down the walkway.
Come on, Jill. I believe.
I'm picking up the
Elevator
extra
time.
shotgun shells probably in the room. I don't know how many bullets these guys are gonna take.
At least this is a good moment to find out if it's enough to just stagger them on normal as well.
Oh.
Thing tells me the answer is going to be no.
We'll see. Oh boy. The first one took 2 shots.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
Do we have time for one donation here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Always time.
Yes,
Downpour.
we have a $6.55 donation from Dark Shocks that just says needs nicer numbers. That brings our total up to $180 now, and we need to reach that $200 mark soon. So keep those donations in, and let me know when you guys need the final say on the save versus kill and incentive, because that's gonna stay open until you guys tell me it's closed.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh
like,
boy. I'm gonna pick
until we get into the last cutscene of the game, like I'll fight what looks like the final boss and completely finish it, and there will still be plenty of time.
Fair enough. Also, thank you to Sergeant Silent for the raid.
Nice. Oh boy.
Look at these two just standing there taunting me. They're gonna hit me as soon as I let go. Nope, they walked away. Wow, thank you guys. Now, these three are the most annoying enemies in the entire game. This part is my least favorite part in the run. Because these guys...
your run can still die over here too, actually. After 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, so these guys just randomly decide whether or not they want to get up after the kill. Like, you saw that one guy got up, but thankfully did it immediately instead of waiting until I was on the valve. If they get up while you're turning this and then they hit you, you bounce off the valve and the door closes all the way, and you just wasted all that time.
Oh my god, I don't know how the George was helping me set up my audio before the stream or whatever, and he helped me do the noise cancellation really good, and I'm looking over because my cat is meowing so loud, but it's like literally not picking any of it up. You guys can't hear. She's like going crazy. She wants to go outside really badly. She's like meow.
I think the only thing I personally hear is sometimes audio from your TV or monitor, or I don't know. Like sometimes I hear very loud, like Murphy saying stuff or something.
Okay.
But only when he's being like very, very loud, you know.
You know, that's Murphy for you.
Yeah. I mean, I miss him a little bit, so...
Jojo's getting all flustered. That's fine though, I'm about to get to a cutscene so I can like let him outside or something.
Yeah, we have to let our animals outside. Oh god.
You know these little cuties where you have to climb up the bridge? Those are also very annoying because if you get the timing wrong, and if you are too fast, the input is not gonna count as well, and you're gonna risk falling off the bridge.
I have found that on the one where it says the right trigger, hold it down. I tap the right trigger and I hold the left trigger. I don't know if anybody else does it. I tap the right trigger and hold the left trigger.
Bastards, back off!
Oh, so here's something that I do that I don't know if anybody else does, but when I go into this fight with Frank, I don't heal. So I take advantage of that injured speed boost to get to the first tower.
Well, to be fair, I never done it before because I actually didn't know that if you are in combat and you're injured, you're faster. But it's definitely something I would try if I were to come back.
Yeah, so you move slow, like in this one room while you're putting your supplies in that, but then as soon as you get here, just look at how much faster he's booking it now.
Yeah. Like, I saw it even yesterday from your stream, and like, it's evident that you can make the cycle even because of that, and it's great because every time getting this, even just this first cycle perfectly, it was always a bit of a pain.
Yeah, like I even got stuck on that thing for a bit, and I still managed to make the cycle.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
Well, now I saw it. Because I don't think I can watch both streams without delay at the same time. So.
Oh, I have it streaming in the Discord, but if you're watching the Discord stream, if you hit the top right, there's like a button to bring up a grid. Yeah, if you push the grid button, it's in the top right corner. It looks like 4 squares.
It doesn't let me watch both you and Shmumbler.
There's like so if you have one of them watching, and then on the other one there's like an eyeball with a plus sign button. It'll let you watch both at once.
Ah, smart. Thank you. A bit late, but you know. I had no idea that was possible. I'm sorry, that was my bad.
That's okay.
I just used some movement during the cutscene there to get to this bridge early. Now I'm gonna heal myself because you cannot make it past these lightning bolts without being at your fastest. And your fast movement speed from combat mode doesn't exist on the backside for some reason. You would. You would.
Hey, buddy.
Well, at least I didn't have to watch the cutscene of the siren coming out of her cage, so that's a plus. You're gonna block me, though?
Oh boy. Oh my god, please.
Alright,
can
now
the crowbar break?
I hope not.
Can the crowbar break?
Murphy's about to break.
Yeah, the crowbar can definitely break.
Jill is having a hard time over here with the three Elvises by the door.
No, I didn't get stuck. Oh, he punched me. Link it anyway. No! So close!
Hey, okay, Plutonen, let's be real for a moment. I wasn't the one that first jinxed the disappearance of the axe. I pinned that one on Ananas. Because he called it.
Oh my god.
I was just concerned about Jill's well-being with the crowbar.
It's fine.
Right, so I'd say a minute from now.
Shmumbler's got it, it's fine.
Yeah. So in 1 minute we need the cutoff for the the bid war.
All right, you heard that. You have 1 minute to get in your money for the bid war. Right now, Anna's in the lead with 35.
I know that you say it's fine, but I can hear.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
The pain and sadness in your heart.
Murphy, you know I was pushing the A button, buddy.
You're just gonna need a downpour detox after this marathon.
Oh man, I've been grinding this game really hard lately, actually, trying to get a PB. I'll be right back at it soon enough. Because in my PB run, Murphy, buddy. I messed up the bell puzzle, so there's like a 35-second time loss at the bell puzzle on my PB run.
Yeah, that puzzle is gonna make you lose a lot of time if you mess it up.
I kind of zoned out when I was doing it the other time, so... Holy crap, do I have a first aid kit? Why did you drop your weapon, dude?
Honestly, they're going ham on you. Like, they're very aggressive.
They're like tossing me back and forth between all of them. Oh my god.
They really don't like me.
Holy crap. These guys are hard.
Do you want to, like, maybe, you know, hit him while on the floor just to be safe?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this one on the floor.
I think these guys are about to destroy you.
I used two
I'm
first
sure
aid
it's
kits
possible
already.
Conan, but it's not ideal.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you hold down X when you're hitting a downed enemy, it charges it up so that you kill them in one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The game doesn't tell you.
Oh, I thought the multiple attacks were intentional. That's why I didn't say anything.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot.
I have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first
I
time
forgot to
playing.
read out a donation. Right now, we had a $10 donation from Jay that just says !Murphy.
Oh, it's one of my sound commands. It's just like him screaming. I think there's a first aid kit.
Alright. What is the result of the bid war?
The end result of the bid war is...
Alright, I'm gonna die, probably.
Kill and in the lead with $35. The bid war is now closed.
Alright.
I'm gonna die so bad.
And will not be spared today.
So then time will be as soon as I hit the quick time event to kill. It should be happening in about 45 seconds.
This is the very moment where you understand that Anne sees you as the boogeyman, by the way. Like, you have to get all the way to the end of the game to finally understand what the hell is going on. And by this point, you surely have forgotten what happened at the beginning, you know, unless you're playing it all in one sitting. So, yeah.
Attack number 2, you're going that way, so we're gonna go that way. You didn't turn, Murphy, why didn't you turn? You turned that time and I didn't want you to. Why are we doing this?
It's hard to tell, but the controls while you're playing as the boogeyman are very, very janky.
Yeah, he turns really sharply or not at all.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Like, I lost more than one PB to just not being able to control the freaking boogeyman at the end.
I'm gonna lift the hammer here, that's when it's gonna give me the choice. Three. Huh.
1.5.
GG's.
Yay, GG.
Yeah, I did lose a world record to the boogeyman fight at the end.
Oh boy.
I was so sad.
That would be so sad.
But I got the
definitely
world
done that
record the
once or
run
twice.
after it, so
Oh.
Final
you know.
time, final time for Shmumbler on my end was around a 2:42:46.
That's good. Come on, Murphy, get off this.
So here's the surprise ending. It's the joke run of Downpour. Personally, one of my favorites.
It is a good one.
The music is a bit weird.
I love how you get Laura and James and Heather and 2 bubblehead nurses. But who's gonna cut the cake?
I don't like Heather's long sleeves. And...
I'm kind of happy. I'm just happy that they used the original Pyramid Head instead of the movie one. Imagine if the movie one came out with like 3 meters tall with bulky muscles, naked chest,
thick ass booty.
They nerfed Pyramid Head's booty in DVD. Okay, that's my DVD rant for today. How could they take away ass?
They made him thick in that. They reduced the size of his butt in the game. I haven't played it in a while.
Like when it came out initially, it was, you know, quite meaty.
Yeah, it was like a meme.
And then they and then they decided to nerf it because apparently it was too sexual.
Okay, cool. I didn't pick up any extra health packs, so there is one in there. But...
You can do it. We believe.
You can cut. I know we're like behind schedule. I don't care about finishing this run. I'm not attached to it or anything.
Oh no, we're still underestimated. It's fine.
We are?
Yeah, we're still underestimated.
Oh, I thought we were like a half hour behind or something.
I think the schedule is, but the run is still.
The run itself is still underestimate. So unless we're going like 15 or more minutes above estimate, you can keep going. That's usually the rule we have.
Gonna die. Is there a health pack up here?
Do we have corn playing in the background?
Ah, crap.
Corn.
This is not good. This is not good. Oh my god. It's not even gonna let me. Is it? Oh. Yay. Yeah, you should cut the audio over to Shmumbler's side so you can just hear that music.
It's fine. Me and Jill are gonna be corn for today.
I gotta do it this way. If I don't, everything stops. I made it. I made it, okay. I've played this game before. I made it. Eventually. Oh, man.
You know, Tina, I wouldn't mind doing that, but the truth of the matter is, the song is too fast for me. Like, I would probably end up eating words or saying nonsense if I try to sing the main bit.
How many times did I die? 4?
Only 3, I think? One time at the Boogeyman, one time at the 3 Bruce Lees over there. I'm trying to think. Did you die another time somewhere, actually? What? I don't remember.
I died at the 3 guys. I died...
Yeah.
Wait, what other times did I die?
Tried to kill me.
Oh,
At
at the
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman, yeah. There was one other time. Yeah, so I guess probably 3.
Was that time? It seems as though both me and the restreamer have spaced
No,
out.
it's not time yet.
Not for
Okay.
mine.
Thank
but-
you. Oh, we have another donation, by the way. If you, maybe we have time to read it out right now.
Yeah. The cutscene is pretty long still.
Yeah. We have a $30 donation from Viper that says, "Have a great event, and here's to fighting autism." And that brings us up past the $200 barrier with $210 raised for the Organization for Autism Research.
He ain't answering his radio.
Oh, Dogo on stream.
What's that you got there? What the hell's going on, Murphy?
Doing $5 for each episode, so I just did another 15. I can't believe I died 3 times. I swear I've played this game before.
Why didn't you answer the radio?
Shonan makes a good point, you know. You said 250, you will finish it in 250. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I usually extend the estimate to allow for possible memeage, especially with this game. And the other game that I've mostly done for marathons is Resident Evil 2 Remake on hardcore, which also has to have allowance for memeage.
To be quite honest, I think you would have had no problems at all if it wasn't for the fact that it wasn't normal.
Yeah. We had to like stop and figure out the locker code and the the train code and everything.
Yeah, the locker thing was weird.
Yeah,
but,
that was weird.
Yeah.
Remember when I set my estimate for Homecoming All Bosses to 15 minutes longer than the actual run?
Oh boy.
And I just barely made it in under estimate.
Nice.
He didn't die right away, you know.
I ended
think
up,
it's
getting
better-
stuck in an elevator shaft.
He spent years in that.
It's better to have a little bit of a movement space for estimates than cutting it too close, you know.
Oh yeah.
For sure, especially in a game that has as little mercy.
Day after day after day. And every time I looked at him,
Because, like, imagine if we had gotten the instant death glitch on that one black hole chase.
I was wondering if it was
Yeah.
gonna happen for either one of us. Luckily,
Honestly,
neither
I
one.
sweat whenever I get there. 'cause
Me
it's
too.
like-
I like clench up. I'm like, oh god.
yeah.
the favors I had to call in, the sick things I had to do to get
And it can happen in 2 places as well. I don't know if it ever happened to you towards the end in the last chase when you go
No,
up the stairs.
It does.
Oh.
It happens also there. It can happen also there.
The only time I've ever died there is when I took too much damage from the wall splitter or spitter.
Yeah, same. I figured out if I healed right before it, so I'm at like max health, then I shouldn't die.
Come on in.
Another
Be
instance where
nice.
he's not really turning properly. Okay, now he turned too much. Cool. I don't know what he's doing. Help. God, please, dude. Just a tiny step, man. Just like a little step or something. Like.
If you're lucky enough, Anne actually doesn't strafe. Like, it's possible that Anne just stays close to the door
Yeah.
in the middle so that you don't have to move to hit her. And I think in one of the top videos, maybe even in my old world record, she was standing still, so it was like lucky.
Definitely hasn't happened in any of mine. I can tell you that right now.
Really?
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe it's different for the Series X. I don't know. Maybe it never happens on the Series X.
I can't control this guy at all. Did I hit her? I think I hit her. No, I didn't. Maybe not. I can't see what's going on. I hear her making noises. Okay.
You did it.
Oh, maybe you have to. I bet I had to hit her more times because I swear I heard her making noises even though I couldn't see with the camera. Probably have to hit her like 5 times or something.
I'm just gonna say again that it's very hard to control the boogeyman. Like,
I can
it's honestly
I can
very
absolutely tell you that on hard mode, the fight against Anne actually becomes dangerous.
Yeah, that was when I was 100%ing the achievements. That was the time when I used the achievement to let her kill you. Was
She
for
kills
that
you
one.
quick too.
I think it's time, by the way.
Oh, my bad. I didn't say anything.
That was a 2:53 on our end.
Yay.
I'm sorry, Frank.
World record. No.
Well, I mean, it is
Well, it's
world record
first
for
normal.
normal.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
GG's.
Thanks.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to say really quickly before we wrap this up and go on to the next run?
I don't have anything else really going on.
Mostly
Just been grinding this run.
Yeah, mostly just this is a chill run, so if you like chill runs, hop on.
True.
It does feel like a chill run. You're right.
It's a chill run.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, when you try to like really optimize it, it gets a little frustrating, but it's fine. Not more frustrating than some of the other runs.
All right,
I
then.
just wanna thank you guys for having me, and it was a blast seeing both Jill and Shmumbler run this.
Thanks for
I'm sure Jill had a
commentating.
lot of fun.
No!
As well.
You came in with all the good lore. I don't know any of the backstory, so...
Yeah, I'm just, that kind of weirdo that really is into story of games more than gameplay most of the time, so
yeah, that
don't
was
worry.
really good. Yeah.
Stop. This is
It
all
was a wonderful run. Shmumbler and UmbrellaJill. And wonderful commentary from Oh My Queen for Silent Hill Downpour. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done with our Silent Hill block. We still have 2 more Silent Hill games coming up. And next up on our schedule is the original Silent Hill with Garlips. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sort of what has happened to us here. This is not very good. We may lose this fight. Okay, we're good. I was a little nervous there for a second. Yeah, I know, right? Nervous. Fighting the Gangrene Gang. And now we're on the final match. When Mojo Jojo falls down and dies, that's the run. That's the run. Super short game. The world record on the world record for console for Buttercup 100% is 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, my time here has come to an end. As your thank you so much to HorribleGames for having me as a host here. That first half of the Silent Hill block was absolutely amazing. And I'm hoping that the rest of the Silent Hill block will be just as entertaining. Shmumbler and UmbrellaJill were amazing runners, but I'll leave you in the hands of the ever so talented and wonderful friend of mine, Playful 1510.